turned around backwards. Here we go. And we've got the cases again this week. Actually, hang on. Before we go getting too crazy here. Let me make a quick post with the link. Okay. Nope, that's not it. Copy link. What's up, Chusik? Yeah, I did put a post up earlier. Hopefully, we get a few people in here tonight. I had a thing in my mailbox. I'm hoping, I'll have to bring this up again later when more folks are in here, that there was a package down there, and I hadn't been able to get to my mailbox, and it's probably been a little over 2 weeks. But if there was a package someone sent that got sent back, that's going to suck, number one. And number two, something was going, I don't know. I've had issues down there. I may end up doing away with that P.O. box. I've been thinking about it for a while. It's kind of silly that I'm somewhat attached to my P.O. box because it was my grandpa's, and then my grandma took it over, and then I took it over, and I've had it for, we've had it. I bet you we've had that same P.O. box since that post office opened. So that's kind of one of the reasons I've been hanging on to it so tightly, and then having the mailbox for the channel was convenient. But I've had so many issues down there that I don't know. I'm just kind of over it as far as that goes. But also keeping it because it's in every one of my videos for 9 years or something. Nope. You can't walk over through there, Brownie. Okay, let's try to make this post real quick. Use that. Post a link. Alright. There it is. Done deal. Brownie, you're not going to be able to stay up there. Huh. I have not had time to look at any of the headlines or anything for a couple days. Huh. All right. We're either going to open the other case, which the guy that I got these off of, and I'm not looking it up on MRE info, which it should be on there. What in the world? Hang on, time out. Okay. All right. Glad I looked at that instead of just eating out of it. Now, what happened? I know I washed it last time. Well, I didn't have a live stream last week, being that it was Easter weekend. So here we are. I seen Miss Marilyn in the chat. Hey, what's up, Waffles? Hey, happy birthday, Tacos. Waffles said, and I'm agreed. Happy birthday. Melvin. Hi, Melvin. What's up, Jeremiah? Fingers are wet. Not scrolling through the chat very well. Shaved your beard, huh? Wow. How's that feel? I don't know. I'm eventually going to do it. I want to lose about 20 pounds before I cut my beard off. I don't think it's too awful bad, but I might have a little bit of extra chin underneath there, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I have no clue. It doesn't feel like I do. Nah, probably not. I've been doing pretty good lately. I got to like keep on track and keep on a decent diet. Been doing all right. MRE is not healthy food by any stretch of the word, but it is what it is. I still enjoy opening and eating them, even if I don't eat the entire thing, because eating the entire MRE for me in one setting is just, that's not good. That's not good. I'm not doing enough activity right now to burn that off. Usually eat them late in the evening. Yeah. Really, I shouldn't eat more than half of it, but I usually do eat more than half of it. All right, so what do we got? 2022s, I think? Brownie, you don't have to move. Let's look in case B. Here, move. Move. Thank you. We did case A. Okay. See, I think it seemed like LC said that she was going to send something down here, but that was a couple weeks ago. I don't think she had sent it yet or anything. So I'm hoping, praying that that wasn't the package and it got sent back international. But it said it was a letter on the thing. It said a letter that has to be signed for. Whatever that could possibly be, I don't know. Anyway, here we go. We got it this way. There we go. What's that? 125. 125th day of 2022. These are, by my standards, these are like food that was made yesterday, by my standards. Case B, menus 13 through 24. And they are the Warnick brand. I think Warnick makes the best like food overall. I've had it all. I've had a bunch of it. I've had tons of each manufacturer. My consensus over time. Now, this includes vintage stuff, though, so I don't know if my modern rating would be the same. I don't know if Warnick still is solidly the best. But typically, eating the same meal from the same year, different manufacturers, Warnick's is usually better. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Just maybe they use higher quality products. I don't know. All right, let's take a... All right. There we go. Not bad. That's not too bad. Cannot wait to get the studio going, so I don't have to work in the corner anymore. Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice. I still think I'm going to end up using that semi-trailer that's grafted on the back as my ration storage. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. These bands come off pretty easy. That's nice. Usually these things are so hard to get back on. But I do keep them to keep the boxes closed. There's one. Down. Oh, you're good, you're good. Here, get in there. Get in there. I didn't know you was in there. I didn't know you was in there. You're good. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're good, Brownie. I had no idea that you was inside that box. All right. I'd much rather you be in there. Go ahead. You're good. Get in there, Brownie. Go ahead. Here. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Just stay in there. There you go. There, girl. You're good. Nope. Nope. We ain't doing this. Not right now. Sticking your tongue out at me. Nope. There. There you go. Go ahead. All right. What was that? Hang on. LC. Nothing sent yet. Oh, thank goodness. Here's what I really, now, thank goodness. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, thank you. Now, I'm just hoping and praying that it wasn't delicious. Because if something was, man, if he sent something all the way from Poland and they just sent it back. Now, those people down there at that post office, they know me. And they know, like, if I hadn't been in there in a couple weeks or something, like, don't send it back. Like, you know I'm going to come and get it. It's not like it's taking up too much of their space. They got tons of open, empty space down there. Yeah. Anyways, you guys, like I said, I've had issues with them down there, and dang, that sucker is glued good. I kind of like opening them from the bottom, just so the top stays intact. I'm going to do it with this one. Last one I opened from the top. This one opening from the bottom. There we go. All right. Oh, that was kind of silly of me. I didn't even think about cutting into a ration down in there until it was too late. All right, here's our liner. And we'll just slide them out. Seems how it looks like they're stacked. All right, menu 19, beef patty jalapeno. First MRE out of the case. Menu 19. And menu 16, chicken burrito bowl. I genuinely enjoy the chicken burrito bowl. What was the first one? Oh, beef patty jalapeno. I ain't had that one in a long time. It's been a long time since I had that one. Southwest beef and black beans. Another menu that I really enjoy. I'm a big fan of Case B, really. Case B is typically, again, personal opinion, the better case. Case A, you're going to get the pizza. And I do believe you do get the sought-after menu of the maple sausage patty with, and then you got your bacons and hash browns on the side now, plus the, and that's like the main menu that you really want to get out of Case A. Pretty sure that's in Case A. I could be wrong. What was that, ravioli? Beef ravioli. Still around in 2022. Have they done away with ravioli yet? I wonder. Look at the extra flap on the bottom of that thing. Is that a date? Huh. Funny feeling bag. All right, beef ravioli. What's next? Menu number 20. Ah, the Italian sausage with peppers, onions, and marinara sauce. So, recently, I have been watching some ration reviews, and I saw someone eating this one, and they didn't like it. They did not like the Italian sausage with peppers and onions and, you know, whatever. So, and I'll be honest, I don't know which manufacturer theirs was because they didn't tell me. But it didn't look very good. Theirs didn't. Again, Mexican style chicken stew. I enjoy this menu. I really do. I like that. What did LC say? Oh, I got a mustache. Oh, Brownie does have sass, for real. Yeah. She's on top of the box right now that these came in. She was inside it until I moved one of the flaps, and she freaked out because I didn't know she was in there. I don't even know what I was going back over there for. Digging in there for. Alright, what else we got here? I was about ready to say Mexican style. What? The rice and... Oh, this is a... This is a vegetarian menu. Mexican style rice and bean bowl? What? I knew this menu existed. This is not... Like, I haven't kept up on what the 2023 and 2024 menus are yet. I have seen a couple, but I didn't really pay that much attention to them. Look at that. That's a cool label. That's a defect, but that is... I find that really appealing to the eye. I like the way that printed out. Super cool. It's like a kind of like a 3D effect almost. What is it? This is my case in. What'd you say? What's that mean, Kaylin? You have a 24-pack case B. Huh? Oh, a 2024 packed case B. Nice. Nice. I wonder what new... Is there a new menu in 2024 case B? I know jalapeno beef, the taco bowl. This would sound good together. Jalapeno beef and taco bowl. The taco bowl. The chicken burrito bowl mixed with the jalapeno beef. I don't know. I'd have to think about that for a minute, because the chicken burrito bowl, obviously you got chicken, and the beef patty is a very processed. I mean, the jalapeno would be a nice additive to that, and double the meat. Actually, you know, that might not be too awful bad. I would try that. I would mix those two mains together. Absolutely. That actually doesn't sound that bad. Oh, here's the beef goulash. I don't think maybe I have had one of these. Is this the first year for it, or did they do this in 20? 20 or 20? I don't know. No, this wasn't the first year for it, was it? It's probably 21. Yeah, I'm not up on what the new menus are and when they came out. I didn't research these because I wanted to be surprised. What? What? I just had... What the... Oh, man. What did they substitute for? Oh. Well, that really sucks. What is that in there? This is not your standard chicken chunk. Look how thick that thing is. I just had this the last time I did a live stream 2 weeks ago. This is what I had out of case A. Oh, man. What in the world did they substitute this? And I can't tell what in the world. It doesn't feel like mixed nuts or anything like... I can't tell what that is. Right there. It's like... It's got a weird edge to it right here. What could that be? Huh. That sucks. I did not want a Menu 5 chicken chunk. You think so? You think they sub for tuna? Well, we'll see. We'll see if we got a tuna in here. Oh, I thought this was in case A. I was wrong. Pork sausage. Case B is definitely the case to have. 100%. Case A, you know, you got the chili, which is great. But what else is in there? There used to be barbecued beef in there. Well, no, I got the beef patty. It's first one I pulled out right here. Menu 19. We'll have to go through and see what menu's missing. Well, here's pepperoni pizza. All right, so there's 23. And what's the last one in here? Please tell me it's not tuna. Sweet! Cheese tortellini. All right. This is actually menu number 1 of case B, which is cheese tortellini and tomato sauce. All right, now let's go through and see which one we're missing. We got 13 right here. Let me see if I got 14. There's 24. 16. There's 14. All right, Mexican style rice and beans. Vegetarian, along with cheese tortellini, also vegetarian. So there's 13, 14. All right, where's 15 at? Mexican style chicken stew. There's 15. All right, where's 16 at? I think that's the one. I don't think we, oh, yeah, we do. Chicken burrito bowl, 16. All right. There's 17. Maple sausage pork. Pork sausage patty, maple flavored. 17. What's this? There's 18. Beef ravioli. 19 is beef patty. Where's 20? Here's 20. Italian sausage, peppers, onions. All right, we're on to number 21 now. 21's what's missing. Because here's 22, 23, and 24. Huh. All right, so we determined it. 21 is 21 tuna? Was 21 tuna? Anybody know? Let me look it up. 124. Did you say which menu was new for 24? Pork sausage is in my case B. Pork sausage. That's the name of the menu? Just pork sausage? Really? Is it patties or is it logs or whatever? Links. All right, Google. Man, the stock market really shot up Friday. Everything went up. All right. Can't read what you're saying, Spicy. Oh, they just shortened the maple flavored pork patty. So is there no new menus for 24? All right, let me find my MRE menus here. Menus page. All right, 20. Oh, nope. Okay. Lemon pepper tuna is what it was. This is 21. That's the newest menus that K-Man's got up on there. He needs to, we got to get K-Man up on the 22s, 23s, at least the 22s and 23s. 24s is very excusable to not have that list up yet. But, okay. I wonder if they kept everything the same as the tuna in this, except swapped in the chicken. Why would they put... Oh, you know what? That's going to be the same as the chicken chunk that I just had. It's going to have to be. The chicken chunk I just had, First Strike bar, apple cinnamon, cheese spread, tortillas, toasted corn kernels, that nasty teriyaki beef stick, fruit punch, electrolyte, and barbecue sauce. Okay, that's all fine and dandy, but I cannot figure out what the heck, what that is right there. Because that doesn't feel like anything that I just read off that list would feel like what this feels like. Accessory packet, no. Chicken chunks, no. First Strike bar, no. Cheese spread, no. Tortillas, no. Toasted corn kernels, maybe? No, it's soft. It's soft. Not soft like a cheese spread, but like a bread, kind of. What in the world could that be? It's got that edge to it. I don't know. We'll find out when we open it, but I'm not going to do chicken chunk 2 weeks in a row. Or two live streams in a row. All right. So, yeah, it's definitely not Tootsie Rolls. It's too soft to be Tootsie Rolls even. It's... honestly, I can't even envision what that could be that would feel like that. Huh. Yeah, that's not the toasted corn kernels. They'd be hard. This is not hard. I'm probably messing up whatever this is because it feels like it's depressing with my... It's like making indentions in it when I push on it. It doesn't feel like a pound cake. It's the wrong shape for a pound cake. Look at that. I don't know what that could be. Yeah, it's not a pound cake. Don't feel like no pound. It's long and skinny. Starts there, ends up there. It's pretty good size, and it's that wide, and it's pretty thick. It's pretty thick. I mean, look at the thickness of it. It's about as thick as the front part of my thumb to the bend of my thumb, so pretty good size. I don't know what in the world that could be. Really, I don't. I'm trying to think about all the items that it could possibly be. Let me look at the menus list real quick and see. I say Mexican rice and bean bowl. Ooh, Mexican rice and bean bowl. Ooh. When did they come out with that Mexican rice and bean bowl? Was this the first year for it? I think it was. I think 2022 was the first year. I think that's a new menu. The beef goulash. The Italian peppers was around in 2021. The Italian sausage and peppers. That was around. The Mexican rice and bean bowl was around in 2021 as well. What about the beef goulash? Is that a 2022 menu that was new for 22? And I know I think somebody sent me a couple mains because I didn't buy the mains myself. I don't remember doing that, but I know that I've tried it. Nope, beef goulash was around in 21 as well. Is there nothing new in this? Is there not a new menu in here from 21? There was no changes from 21 to 22. So we got Southwest style beef and black beans. We got that. Pepperoni pizza. We got that. Beef goulash. We got that. We know that lemon pepper got replaced. Well, okay. Lemon pepper came with a pound cake, cheddar cheese spread, tortillas, baked snack. Maybe it's the cheddar baked snack crackers. Although they'd be crunchy. Peanut butter M&Ms, nope. Mayonnaise, nope. Hey, little one. What you doing, girl? Hi. Hi, you want to say hello to everyone? Huh? Come here. Come here. Don't run away from me. Come here. Come here. All right. Run away from me then. We have the Italian sausage with peppers and onions. We have the jalapeno pepper jack. We have the jalapeno pepper jack beef patty grilled. We got the beef ravioli. We got the pork patty. We got the chicken burrito bowl. We got the Mexican style chicken stew. We got the Mexican rice and bean bowl. And we got the cheese tortellini. So there's nothing different there. Case A. Is there anything different from 21 to 22? Elbow macaroni. I remember that one from last time. Cheese pizza. I remember that one. Chili mac. I remember that. Beef stew. I don't know. Which that's not new, but it might have been something swapped out for it. Yeah, we had beef stew. I remember now. Meatballs and marinara sauce. I remember that. Beef strips. I remember that. Beef taco. I remember that. Chicken chunks, obviously. Spaghetti. I don't know if I remember seeing spaghetti. Probably. I don't like spaghetti. I don't like MRE spaghetti. I remember chicken with egg noodles. Shredded beef and barbecue sauce. I remember that. And chili. Nothing changed from 21 to 22, apparently. Huh. Well, ain't that a thing? Wow, look at how loaded menu number 2. Shredded beef and barbecue sauce. Already a very good main. Apple, strawberry, and carrot fruit puree squeeze. Jalapeno cheddar cheese spread. Tortillas. Cinnamon bun. Chocolate hazelnut protein. Oh, I thought that was chocolate peanut butter. My bad. It's still pretty good. Still pretty good menu. Just wasn't as good. Like, if you get the chocolate peanut spread, there's nothing better. That is the best thing spread-wise that you can get. Second, I would say strawberry jam would be number 2. And then I'd probably put jalapeno cheese spread number 3. First 2 things are desserts, and the third one is not. All right, so now, even though I'm very curious about what in the world that could be, watch, it's going to be something stupid. Maybe it's that terry. No, it's like rough through here. It's rough but soft. And that's why I can't picture what it could be. I have no clue. I have no freaking clue. Prices on MREs are really good right now. I've got to order some more, like just for stockpiling purposes, if nothing else. Southwest beef and black beans. It's been a long time since I had that, I think. So I have no idea what's in it. Beef goulash. I'm pretty sure I've tried this menu, but I'm not 100% sure. What do you guys? You guys tell me. Okay, I'll get, like, I would eat the beef goulash right now. Pizza. No, we've done the heck out of pizza. Pizza's played the freak out. Beef patty jalapeno pepper jack. Yeah, I'd eat that. It's been a while. Actually, it ain't been that long, because I remember having the ketchup and mustard. It ain't been too awful long since I had a jalapeno beef patty. The Italian sausages with peppers and onions. I have not had that, but like I said, I've seen it. And, I mean, if that menu's cooked properly, if that's a good menu, I would enjoy this. Like, I like a good gumbo, I mean, with sausage or something like that, or sausage and rice. Beef ravioli, yeah, not in the mood for that. Ain't been that long since I had one either. Pork sausage patty, ain't been long since I had one of them either. I think chicken burrito bowl we've had recently as well. So there's cheese tortellini down in here. Mexican style chicken stew. It ain't been long since I had one of those. There's the rice and beans, which is a vegetarian menu, which I have not had. The rice and beans. I just feel like it's lacking meat. And I need meat. Alright, so we can try this new menu. I can't remember what the sides were with this. Or we can do the beef goulash or the beef patty jalapeno. I'll eat that. Or what was this other one right here? Southwest beef and black beans. I'm a huge fan of that. And yeah, let's make it between those 4 menus. Let me put the rest of these up here. Oops. Probably should. I think all I gotta do is fold this up. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. Pizza slice. Chicken chunk. That thing's already full and there's still 4 menus to go back in there. I did not pack them in there very well. I'll be able to squeeze at least 2 more of them back in there. There we go. Not as heavy as I was thinking. All right, here we go. Here's our menus that we're going to pick from. Wow, I forgot to turn the lights on. That's better. That's better. There we go. Well, you can't see the beef goulash. Let's do it that way. I have not had this menu yet because 2021 must have been the first year for this. I guess I haven't had a case beef from 2021 because I have not had this Italian sausage with peppers and onions, marinara sauce. The beef goulash, and then the wait, did I put away the? Oh, I did. I put away the rice and beans. Anyway. I can still pull it out. It's right on top. If you guys choose the rice and beans, I'll eat it. What's up, Mike? Mikey. Malta Magnum. What's up, John? Good to see you here, man. Good to see you. The goulash is good. It's kind of like chili mac, ain't it? I think I've only had it once. Because it's a pretty new menu. Kinda. Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought. It's been a while. It's like, it's kind of like a tamed down version. And no beans. Tamed down version of the chili mac. Mike says that the goulash is fantastic. Yeah, I think I remember liking this. It's been a while. So I think someone sent it to me when it was like, so it's been, wow, it's been actually quite a few years ago. I think they sent it to me when it was less than a year old, so probably 2021, 2020. Was it 2020 or 21? I don't know. One or the other, whatever year that came out, probably within a year, I had it. Change blue. There was a smiley face moon yesterday. Huh. Yeah, well, it was so cloudy here last night, you couldn't see anything either. It rained yesterday. It rained today. And then it cleared up a little bit. I don't know if it's clear out there now or not. I don't see any stars. That's not saying anything because I'm looking out my window, but... which one am I going to pare down here? The beef goulash does seem tempting. Yeah, it was a little chilly here last night and today as well. 19 or 20 does not cut it. It doesn't cut it, so it's not good. So it's between these two or the rice and beans. So the Italian sausage sucks, huh? I don't know. Where did it go? What the heck? Is that it? Must be way down in there. vegetarian, not vegetarian. 20. Wait, did I just put 20 back? I don't... 21's the one I'm missing. Yeah, me neither. Never had menu 29 either. What is that? Was that the Italian one? The Italian sausage? Yeah. Yeah, that's the Italian sausage one. I don't know what it is. The vegetarian menus have always seemed weak in my perception, I guess you would say. So, who just said that they... Waffles. You just said you had a menu 20 last night. Said it was good. Impressed with the flavor and the heat. Okay. 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 Oh, you don't know. Oh, you said 19 or 20. And I put them both back. My bad. My bad. I got 20 back out. I'm going to say it's between these two. I don't remember this one. I don't remember what it was like. So it didn't leave much of an impression on me. I will say that. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. And then I've had this one about 150 times before. Southwest beef and black beans. I love it. It's a great menu. Great menu. And I think this one usually comes with good sides. What is that? Huh. What is that? Huh. I envisioned Pop-Tarts being on the back of that, but I could be wrong. That's what it felt like. All right, so we're down to 20 or 22. I'm thinking, let's just do the 20. Yeah, everybody says 20. Let's do 20. All right, now will this case close? Probably not. It's going to be hard to get the bands back around that. All right. Will the peelable seal actually be peelable? Oh, man, look at the lip. How tiny. Gosh, you can't get a hold of it. And this plastic is super slick. It's like velvety smooth. Ugh. Come on. All right, it's getting cut, I guess. If it had regular flaps on the top of it, look how tiny they are. See how high up the seal is? If it had a regular size flap, I could open it. Like down here. No, it's pretty small down here too. Yep, it's tiny down here too. They sealed it right on the end. There's only that much. Just a tiny little lip that you can grab a hold of. It depends, man. Some of these peelable seals are actually peelable. Some of them you just end up ripping to shreds. I know my grip strength isn't that bad. It's starting to rip it through the back. See? Ripping a hole through it. just, it ain't coming apart. Not very peelable, I'll tell you that. Yeah, that ain't coming open. Peelable seal, not so peelable. Can't remember what year they started doing that peelable seal, actually. That's a piece of information I'd like to know, actually. How many times am I going to say the word actually? Actually. Alright. Well, that cut that a little bit much. Here we got the worst hot beverage bag on the market. It's good for waterproofing your smokes or something like that. I mean, mixing up a drink in there, especially a warm one, is not a good. I don't trust them. I've had coffee go all over the place a few times, but it says hot beverage bag right on it. And we got crackers with this menu. Nice looking pack of crackers. 69th day of 2022. What else? There's our sheet. We'll look at that in a minute. There's our flameless ration heater, which we did try out last time, and these new ones are quite nice. Did a pretty good job at heating up that chicken. Made it steaming hot. Worked quite well. Yep, we got cheese spread. Of course, cheese spread. Lots of liquid separation up there on the top of that. Let's go ahead and knead it now as well. What else? Here's our partially biodegradable MRE spoon. Trail mix recovery with beef jerky. Never had that before. Cranberries, beef jerky, almonds, and that's it. Huh. Wait, what? Almonds, beef jerky, and cranberries. Okay. Not what I expected, but okay. Here is our lackluster, I'm sure. Oh, it's got coffee in it. Is that a Bill's Brew? Not sure. We'll check that out in a second. We got... What? Really? Well, that's just redundant. Give you a trail mix and then give you dry roasted salted peanuts. All right. What the heck? Sliced cranberry. What in the world? This has got cranberries in it, and it's a trail mix with nuts in it. And then they give you a pack of nuts and a pack of cranberries. Like, you can just mix all this together into one huge bag. That's 2.2 ounces. This is 2 ounces, looks like, on the dot. Or is that 0.2 ounces? No. Yeah, it's 2 ounces. 190 calories on that. What's this? 260. Wow. What about the peanuts? 160 on the peanuts. All right. And last but not least, we got our Italian sausages. It just says Italian sausage. With peppers and onions and marinara sauce. And wow. Pretty high on the calorie count on that. 360. 14 grams of carbohydrates. Sodium, 1,180 milligrams. 51% of your daily value. Very salty. 65 milligrams of cholesterol. Probably not the good kind. Maybe a little bit. All right, let me go throw this in some boiling water, and we'll come back and open that accessory packet. All right, let's give that thing 4 minutes. Let me see. Set a timer for 4 minutes. All right, 4 minutes. Let's see what this accessory packet holds for us. It's not that there's much mystery there, seeing as how it's all see-through. All right, we got our Giannis Brothers creamer, non-dairy. We have our, Bill's Brew and coffee, freeze-dried of the nature. We have our United States issued butt ration, or napkins, or paper towels, however you would prefer to use that. Oh, really? Sweet and low? Come on. Sucralose, I'll bet. Yep, that's what it is. It's Enjoy brand. Like, that's a Walmart brand, I think. Can't believe they put that crap in there. Moist towelette. Hey, look at that. They actually gave me sugar, too. Well, how about that? They give you options. That's mind-blowing. And they give you a pack of iodized salt. They really have cheaped out on the salt, guys. Single serve, no longer is it military packaged. If you're going to cheap out on the salt, throw a pack of pepper in there. No Tabasco, throw some pepper in there. Like, how much would it cost to throw those dual packs? Wait. Yeah, of the, like, there's like, first of all, if you needed the salt, there's not enough here, really, to service a meal. And we got some cinnamon chiclet style gum here in the red packaging. I mean, the accessory packets have went downhill, guys. That's disappointing. Quite frankly, that's disappointing. Really, it is. All right, let me grab out what I'm not going to use. Moist towelette. And throw it back over here. In this accessory packet. Get our tray. All right. Well, this meal kind of outside of the main, like the side stuff, kind of weak. Unless you're a big fan of nuts in general, then you're not going to be very happy with all the crap you got on the side here. All right, let's get the coffee going. And I'll get that water when I go in there. Coffee cup. Let's use Delicious cup. I'm gonna use Dan's cup. Actually, yeah, I like my Bob Ross cup, but it's black and you can't really see. You can't see the coffee when I make it inside of it. So, no cold drink either. What the? Only coffee. There's no way that's right. There's no way that's what this is. All right, I'll go ahead and get this ready, and then I'll go get that. But surely this was supposed to have a drink. This is 6 ounces. Quarter of a canteen cup. Huh. Creamer with no tear notch. Of course. go. And here's our little teeny tiny thing of sugar. It's probably only 2 grams of sugar. It's not enough. It's just a little bit. Yeah. Not enough for my palate, but it's better than nothing. I guess I could use that sweet and low as well. I don't like drinking sucralose. All right, throw some hot water in here, and I'll be right back and grab the main. Off to the races. It's kind of crazy that there's no drink with this. I'm still a little dumbfounded when it comes to that. Here's the coffee not have been stirred. Yeah. I might have put like a little bit too, it might be like 7, 8 ounces in here. Didn't measure it, it come out of my hot water thing in there. Okay. Let's start with this trail mix. Again, 260 calories. Yep, that's what it is. A little piece of beef jerky here and there, cranberries, and raw almonds. I reckon. Who's the genius that came up with this? Well, I want to talk to them. Dry roasted peanuts. Woohoo! There, nice hiss. There they are. They smell good. All right. That's all of them. Cranberries. I'm gonna put the cranberries under the crackers. I'm gonna cut this open long ways because I know I won't eat all these, but I do like these. I will come back to these. Oh yeah. No more osmotic cranberries though. I'm a huge fan of the osmotic cranberries. Look at the pile of them though. You get a good little bit, I must say. Not shabby. Decent little amount. I mean, they kind of feel osmotic. They feel like they've been sprayed with something. Sugar. They don't feel like just standard dried cranberries. That one's been cut. That's weird. Look at that. Somebody cut it open. Both sides. Huh. There's a few of them in there like that. Actually, a bunch of them. There's another one. All right. Well, there they are. Crackers. Let's see. Very well sealed. Hopefully they're not all broken. Well, it don't matter how well these things have been handled. Usually the crackers are disintegrating. Hey, these ones in pretty good shape. Look at that. Well, a little piece fell off there, off the corner. All right. There's a little bit of crumbs in there as well. Again, they fall apart. The old ones did not fall apart. Now it has chocolate chip toaster pastry, cranberries, smoked almonds, cheese spread, Italian herb, and cheese swirl roll. What? An orange drink? See, I'm telling you, I'm missing a drink. I'm almost positive I'm missing a drink. Yeah, that sounds a lot better than what I got going on here. I mean, you look at what I got going on here. It's again, this is super redundant. Like, look at the difference in the cranberries. By the way, like that. Cranberries are very different. I guess that's the beef jerky. Okay. Get some more of it. Couple. Yeah. It's hard to tell the difference between the cranberries and the beef jerky. They look the same. For real. Kind of, I don't know. Not very appealing to the eye, that's for sure. I mean, you're not going to be looking at it much when you eat it, I guess. Smaller the hole, more control. That's a gun dog saying. I ain't seen gun dog in a minute. I should contact him and see how he's doing. It's been a while since I talked to him. I ain't talked to G. Schultz in a minute either. I should talk to those guys soon, and I will. I will try to make it a point to contact them this week. All right, beef goulash. Got it wrapped up over here. Keeping it hot. Oh, this is a long ways open only. Well, that sucks. They put it in a bowl style. Tear notches on the ends. Here and here, and that's it. So I have to make my own. LC Waffles had it in the package company was rude and stole yours. So yeah, well, thank you for the super chat, LC. Yeah, well, so that'd be Warnick that'd be to blame for stealing or not putting in my drink mix. I'm almost positive this thing should have came with a drink mix. Like, I'm 90% sure. I'll have to look online. But here we go. Oh, that's very, very orange. Very Chef Boyardee looking. I figured this would... You know, they need to provide a bed of rice for this. As liquidy as this is, as runny as it is, could you imagine this on dumping it over a bed of rice? Oh, I'm going to just assume, based on the ingredients, about what it would taste like. I think it would pair well with some rice. All right. Well, always go for the main first. There's our sausage chunks. Let's take a look. Oh, I don't want to get sauce. There's a cross section. No brownie of what the inside of the sausage looks like. Yep. Yeah, oh, I'm sure I do have some rice. And actually, we just made rice for my dog. We make her rice about every 2 or 3 days for her food. All right, well, yeah, this definitely looks like it needs a better rice. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's what it needs. But maybe I'm wrong. Like, I think this would be fine if they just went ahead and incorporated rice into this dish. Again, make it more like a gumbo style. But hey, that's certainly what. And there ain't no way to. I mean, I guess you could crumple up your crackers and dump it over that, but they'd get soggy quick. All right, here we go. I know this is going to be super hot, but down the hatch. Wow. That is spicy. For an MRE menu. No. So the Italian sausage has really got a nice firm texture to it. You can taste all the herbs and spices going on in there. I think the spice is coming from the sauce, not the pepper, or not the sausage. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's coming out of this soupy base, this marinara base that it's in. Yeah, they really went overboard with the marinara here, without anything to soak it up. Like, just shoveling marinara in your mouth kind of, I don't know. It just feels wrong. Like ravioli, you know, the ravioli, you can balance out your mixture of marinara to ravioli and spaghetti, you know, whatever. I don't think you can do that here. It tastes like a pretty decent quality sausage, though. It doesn't taste cheap. And again, I like the texture. Let's just try it with some crackers. Wow, those two mixed together really well. It makes the crackers taste like toasty, like kind of toasted. And they usually don't taste, I don't know, there's something very complimentary mixing these two together. Yeah, I like that. That is not bad. I'm going to assume that's some sort of pork sausage. And definitely got oregano going on. Pork, water, brown sugar, salt, spices, including fennel, paprika, chili pepper, garlic, red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, onions, modified food starch. Huh. I don't see oregano listed. Got basil, garlic powder, onion, garlic, again, paprika, fennel. Huh. I don't know if that's what's in the sausage or what. It definitely has that Italian marinara flavor, though. Except with a kick. It's got a nice spice to it. And again, the pork sausage itself it's firm, but it's got a nice chew to it. And the heat kind of really, it's not extreme by any sense of the word. I would call it extremely mild, but it does have a spicy factor to it that if you hate spice, you probably wouldn't like this. But if you don't mind a little bit of spice, this you'd probably like this. Like, I don't mind a little bit of spice. I can't take hard, heavy spices anymore. Wish I could. So I'm not picking up on anything grainy. It's nice and firm. It's got a really nice natural texture to it. I think the sausage is probably going to depend on which manufacturer it was. Warnick seems to be doing the sausage right, or wherever they're sourcing it from. Sausage is pretty good, not grainy at all. And those crackers are really doing some favors for this stuff. I didn't think it'd be that good of a mix, but it is. Taking off, Multi-Magnum. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Let me take a bite of cracker with cheese spread. I wish I had jalapeno cheese spread. The cheese spread is so rich and flavorful that it kind of overpowers anything that you mix it with. That's why I don't like it. I don't mind eating it on its own, just eating it on a cracker. But if I'm mixing it into something, that's whatever I'm mixing it into is going to taste just like the cheese spread. Oh, hello in Germany. Good morning. It's nighttime here. It's like probably 10 o'clock. But yeah, the cheese spread's just so overpowering and so... I don't know. I've just ate so much of it over the years that I used to like it a lot more than what I do now. But if I'm real hungry, oh yeah. I want to eat some more of this while it's hot. So, excuse me while I indulge for a moment here. Get some peppers. Get on there. There you go. Nice. That's hot. It's still steaming, like hot to the touch hot. Got my nose running. I will say the skin of the sausages is kind of tough. And I would classify this meat as being dry. Even though it's soaking in liquid, it's still dry. A little tough, but I like the chew of it. I really do. It's more of a firm chew, but it's not. This isn't gritty or grainy. It's very natural. Exactly what you would expect out of an Italian sausage. All right, one more bite and then I'll move on. I'm enjoying it. I will definitely give the main a thumbs up. The rest of the meal, I haven't even tried it yet, but it needs work. Obviously, they've made some improvements. Based on a couple people in the chats actually told me, right, that they've changed up the menu. Stan, and who else was it that said that they just had one that was different? Nope. This sausage does seem like it would actually fit into a German meal. Absolutely. I've eaten enough German EPAs to know that's not far off from something that they would put into their, as a main in one of their rations. Okay, I've eaten something spicy. I want something cold to drink, not hot coffee. So I guess I'm drinking water, because I don't have any drink mixes handy. I'm looking. What's this? Hang on. I think I might have some Polish tea or something here. I think this is tea. Raspberry tea. That's exactly what it is. Excuse me. This makes a whole bunch of raspberry tea, but that's probably enough for that water. Alright. I don't know how long this has even been sitting here open on my side table. A long time, I'll bet. Alright, we give it a shake. Stuff doesn't like to dissolve. Peanuts. That's a good one. Nice and salty. I mean, you can't go wrong with a dry roasted peanut that's been salted. Classic flavor. Peanut. What more can you say about it? Raw almond. I'm not a huge fan of these. Chewy. Not a whole lot of flavor. I mean, they're all right. They add a texture, that's for sure. I think that's both beef jerky. Doesn't feel too awful hard. I'll give it a try. Finish my almond here. Alright. I mean, the peanuts didn't taste weak, like they got a strong peanut flavor. Couldn't hardly taste the almond. I feel like this has kind of overloaded my palate. The jerky's salty, a little sweet. The chew's nice. It's not too hard. It's not too soft. It's not bad. Try it with try it all together. All together. More cranberry. Yeah, no. Good night, Waffles. That does not work together. Mm-mm. I don't know what. The beef flavor and the cranberry clash bad. It tastes like. What does that taste like? It tastes like beef jerky and cranberries. They don't taste good together. Sweet, salty, savory. I don't know. That's just such a weird flavor. It's not a great flavor combo, Sparrow says. Good night, Waffles. Yeah, okay, I think this is somewhat dissolved. Still a little chunky in there. Let's see what it tastes like. It should be the raspberry tea. Oh. It smells like... Doesn't smell like raspberry. It smells like lemon. Kinda. Huh. I didn't put enough in there. Better than just straight water, though. It's not bad. It's got a slightly fruity flavor to it. Let's see what these these look like, and like the difference between these. I mean, you see the difference in the color. These ones aren't cut open like these ones are. And these do appear to be sprayed with something, maybe. These probably are osmotic. Let me see what the packaging says. Yep. These are osmotic. They're sprayed with sunflower oil and sugar. 100%. And boy, are they better than them other ones. Sweet, tangy, fruity, beautiful, fresh cranberry flavor. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of osmotic cranberries. All right. I got to try some of this crap with everything. And I need an almond. All right. A little bit of everything. Got jerky in there. Only one piece. And it appears to be fatty. Both kinds of cranberries. Peanuts and an almond. A raw almond. This overtakes it. Now the peanut is a interesting addition to the beef jerky mixing in, and there's a lot of complex flavors going on here. I will say that. It's not boring. It looks boring. It is boring in itself. But mixing it, I mean, the flavors aren't boring. Still boring items. Yeah, the peanuts is probably the best part. Like, it really twisted it up. made it just the saltiness, savoriness of the peanut, which just mixing that with these cranberries right here, I think is going to be the key. I think that's what's going to taste the best. I'm highly disappointed in this meal, though, when it comes to everything on the side. The main, not bad. Lots of sodium. I don't really pick up on a ton of salty. It don't taste that salty. Weirdly enough, after eating sweet stuff, I usually don't do this, but I'm going back to the main. I don't want to waste it. I can't get no more on the spoon. Yeah, the spoon. It's cooling off and it tastes weird now. I don't think I'd like that room temperature. I don't like much of them room temperature, but that one would be rough. Although I'd probably rather eat it room temperature than like ravioli. Meatballs room temperature wouldn't be bad. What else room temperature wouldn't be bad? Southwest beef and black beans ain't bad room temperature. Now, when you go start making them cold, when you're in an environment that's 50 or below, it's hard to eat this crap and not heat it up. All right, got my palate somewhat cleansed. Still a little spice there. But look how that creamer. Look at that. That is not right. Like, they should be able to do better than that. Look at the line that it's leaving on the side of the cup. That is from the creamer. The non-dairy creamer. Which, what exactly is in non-dairy creamer? Hang on. Ain't it a bunch of, like, weird stuff? I ripped some of it off. Corn syrup solids. Coconut oil, I assume. Sodium caseinate, a milk derivative. Yeah. Some weird stuff. Diglycerides. Non-dairy creamer is not good for you. I'm going to venture to bet. And then it just when it doesn't dissolve like that, ugh. Oh, super chat. Oh, LC. Cheese and the sausage, would that... Well, I mean, I put the cheese on the cracker and ate it all together. All you can taste is the cheese. This stuff is so overpowering that it just... I mean, it just ruins everything. The coffee's actually really strong. Really strong for some reason. Maybe I did only put 6 ounces of water in there. And that creamer, man, like, I'm picking it up right on the top, right on the just... That's the main flavor, is that and then a strong coffee. But the creamer is very strong flavor in that. I mean, I'll try a sausage with a little piece of cheese. Thank you for the super chat yet again, LC. Oh, look at that. All right, I'm saving this cracker up here. And I just got sauce all over the cheese spread from picking this bowl up. Getting it on my thumb. Look at that cheese spread on there. It don't even look right. Reminds me of that. You remember those red sticks that we used to get with the crackers with the cheese spread when we were kids? I don't know what they were called. Crackers and cheese is what we called them. Remember that little red stick? That's what it reminds me of when you'd like get the cheese off the stick. It would look like that. I don't know. Childhood memory coming back there. There you go. Oh, look at that. Oh, just look at it. Just look at it. They found perfectly preserved non-dairy creamer in the tombs of Egypt. I wouldn't surprise me if they had it back then. I'm sure it wouldn't go bad. Oh, wow, that's weird. Okay. I can't taste the sausage at all yet. Just cheese spread. If I chew on it for a while, a little spice coming in now. Okay. And there's the sausage. Right as I'm getting ready to swallow it. Huh. I mean, that's kind of what I figured, but the cheese spread is just extremely overpowering. This is probably my favorite thing on here. I like this main. I like this main on a bed of rice. Oh, give me that on a bed of rice, and I will be a happy man. I'm telling you. If I'd have had half a retort pouch of rice to dump that over top of, I don't need a whole 8 ounces of rice. 4 ounces would be plenty. Give me 4 ounces of rice, that main, and you're talking about a hearty, well put together meal. Right now, it just kind of seems a little bit runny. It's a little too liquidy for an Italian sausage meal, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not right here. Maybe it's just a personal preference thing. What's up, Bo? Those are so good. We're going old school Pall Mall today. Yep. Non-filter. I mean, I'm somewhat disappointed in the meal itself. I wish they would figure out something a little better with that. The almonds and the jerky and the cranberries. It's not for me. Maybe it's for the majority of people. Maybe most people would like it. It's one of those things. I can say, well, I don't really like it that much, but somebody else might love it. You know. I know I got a Lucky Smoke in here. I always turn one over. Is that it? All right. This ain't it. So. Wasn't no matches in this menu either. Well, daggone it. Matches. Guess I'm not lighting with a match this time. Well, surely I can find it back. the LRP accessory packet. I got some leftover lasagna still that I need to eat. And some leftover chicken a la king. I saved, I think I got one serving of that left. I wish they were all made like those Rafcos. You could just take out individual bars or break a bar in half. Pretty good, pretty smooth. It's got a really nice vintage twist to it, kind of a floral. You get kind of a, almost like a sour note, but it's a pleasant, I don't know how to describe it other than it's kind of a little bit of a sour, pleasant note to the tobacco. Been a while since I had one like this. Non-filter, some age to it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It smells old. Tastes old. When I say it smells aged, not old. It smells aged. Properly aged tobacco. What can I compare this to, flavor-wise? Because it's got a familiar flavor note to it, like from something else. Dessert-wise, it's almost like a savor. It's a nuttiness, is what I would call it. Yeah. Not like, oh, it tastes like a peanut. No, but it's got a nuttiness to it. Kind of a earthy, kind of a bark and nuttiness to it. It's pretty good. Too bad I can't get them one of these. That sucks. Hey, if you guys don't care to hit the thumbs up or down, either way, you got a long press on the screen, I do believe, is the way YouTube has it set up now, where you can't just hit the thumbs up. What is that? Anyway, if you don't mind, I would appreciate it. So, the contractor I had working on my shed up here went down, and my mom is looking to renovate and sell the little house that they built for my grandma, which is roughly like almost 1,000 square feet. It's like 900 and something, I think it's 9 something. Anyways, doesn't matter. She's renovating. He went down there and gave her an estimate, and now I need to get a couple more estimates on my apartment build out. But I got it ready. It's ready to go in, and I say I got it ready. The wiring needs to be moved out of my flooring, out of the floor. It's just, they used it like an attic, is what they done. They took the entire second floor, used it like an attic, ran all the wires on the floor, junction boxes on the floor. But the upstairs is wired up. Like, there's outlets everywhere. All the wiring's ran up into the ceiling as far as the upstairs wiring goes. So everything's wired out to the 200 amp panel. I think it's a 200 amp panel. So all the downstairs wiring has to be pulled out and reran downstairs, which I don't know what that's going to cost me, but all the wiring's already there, so it shouldn't be too awful bad. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. YouTube doesn't like me very well. They haven't for quite a few years now, which is, whatever. I've thought about, I thought there for a minute I thought about kind of at least dual streaming on here, and which I'm going to start making other content soon. Hopefully within the next, I'm going to say few months, but hopefully by the end of summer, I will have the studio set up, but I'm also going to be making content out of the studio, like out of creating the studio and the apartment upstairs. That's all going to become content because I'm going to try to film it all. I really need to find a good camera guy, and I have an idea on what I'm going to do with the upstairs up there that I think is going to play out quite well. We shall see, though. I have not seen anybody else do what I'm thinking of doing, and it could turn into something pretty cool. Tim says thumbs up worked for him. Awesome. Foxy, Cleopatra, and Austin Powers. I do remember when she played. Oh, I didn't know her name. I remember Foxy, but I didn't know it was Cleopatra. But yeah, I remember. I seen this guy I talk to all the time over on TikTok. Highly recommend you guys check him out if you're on TikTok. He's also here on YouTube. His name is Joy of Everything. I don't know if he's very dedicated to his YouTube content. Maybe he is. Maybe he has been posting over here now since TikTok has really went downhill. I don't know what I was trying to come up with there. Anyway, I watched him interview Mike Myers. I think it was Mike Myers. And asked him if he thought there would be another Austin Powers coming in the future. And he seemed very open to it, like it could possibly happen. So it could happen. There could be another Austin Powers come up. I mean, it's crazy that Tom Cruise just did another Mission Impossible, which I was watching yesterday or day before. What's that fella's name? This guy on YouTube does kind of docu-series. He did one about the he's done a lot of them, but one that sticks out in my head is about that mayor, that lady that was just burning through the money and like paying security 24/7, paying them ungodly amounts of money, overtime, working them 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and paying them all kinds of crazy overtime. Where was that? Is that in Illinois? It might be in Illinois. Indiana, maybe. Anyway, Tommy something. Just done a documentary, I don't know, video, kind of investigative journalism, whatever you want to call it, where he was looking into Scientology. And I didn't know it. I mean, I know enough, but I didn't realize that they had bought out most of a city, I believe in Florida. And they have like this celebrity center, and then Tom Cruise has the entire top floor of this one building, and that's a wild setup that they got going on there. The people that have made it out of there, the stories that they tell are wild. They're not good. And what I don't understand, okay, I understand how religions are based, different religions are based, and how you can even create a new one. But at what point, like, we need to determine and create a guideline of when you cross the line from being a religion into being a cult. I would venture to say, if you've ever looked into Scientology at all, they're probably leaning real hard into that cult territory. Because once you're in, they don't want to let you out. Not that you can't get out, but there's people gotten out. Make them sign, what is it, 1 million year contracts that even when their soul passes to a new body with reincarnation, that they're committed to coming back and working Scientology. Um, it's something that I don't understand how it got so out of hand. Well, yeah, so I believe it was L. Ron Hubbard's wife was the one that they disappeared. That's like rather very well known. And then you have, you got a couple celebrities who's gotten out. The guy that used to be on King of Queens, or the woman that used to be on King of Queens, Leah, I think her name, Leah something. Leah, can't remember her last name. I think it's Leah something. But she's been a huge advocate speaking out about it. You know, the Jim's, okay, which one was the Jim Jones cult? Was that the one where they drank the Kool-Aid, or is that the one where they were getting on the tail of, what was it, Halley's Comet? Was it Halley's Comet? It was something like that. It was the Kool-Aid one? Okay. There was hundreds of them in that one, wasn't there? Man, could you imagine? I mean, and then like the main guy, he didn't even do it, did he? Wasn't he like, didn't he walk away from it, like, ended up not having the gumption to do it? Something like that. Remember they made a episode of CSI that kind of mirrored the situation. I used to watch CSI back in the day. When CSI was a newer thing, I would say even the first 7 to 10 years of it, it was a big deal. We used to be big Pawn Stars watchers here at my house too. We used to watch a lot of Pawn Stars. What other shows back in the day, we used to get some enjoyment out of sitting down and watching TV as a family. But smartphones killed that pretty much. I still watch TV. I'm old school. Call me old school, I guess. But I still enjoy watching television, programmed television. A lot of people don't, though. I mean, I would venture to say that most of the country, if not, surely more than half of the country, does not watch television anymore. Leah, I don't know how to say her last name. Ramani? And now she does game shows now? I didn't know that. She like a host, or she a celebrity? Remember how they had Hollywood Squares? Remember that? Is that still a thing? Oh, she hosts. Yeah, they drank tainted. There was hundreds of them. I thought there was like 300 and some of them. If I remember right, it seemed like there was 300 and some of them. It's pretty wild stuff, man. So the CIA have done experiments where they put, was it 7 or 8 people in a room, and out of the 8 people, 7 people were in on the experiment, right? They were controlled opposition, whatever you want to call it. And they passed around a picture of a circle. And then after they passed around the picture of the circle, they asked everybody what was on the piece of paper. What was that? What shape did you see? And every single one of them, the first 7 answered it was a square. It was a circle. The last person said no, it's a circle. But they immediately start questioning themselves whether or not they're going crazy. Am I wrong? Am I seeing this wrong? Go around again. Asked them. It was a square. I know it was a square. They all say it was a square. Get to that last person that's not in on it. Eventually, moral of the story, they end up saying the same thing. They say a square, the picture that they had of a circle was a square because 7 people said that it was. It's groupthink. It's, it, I guess is what you'd call it. And that's the only thing I can think of how these people end up in a situation where some lunatic talks them into doing something like Jim Jones, or there was another big famous one where they done a similar thing. I think that was the one where they were like wearing Nikes and had I think they had like white, or was it purple? It was something. They had all had the same clothes on, but they all had Nikes on as well. I think that was the common one. But same deal. Like, they all did the same thing. You got to wonder how and why, how, what happened up to that point to get these people all to agree to do something so drastic. And I think this trickles down more than what we think into our day-to-day life as far as the group think. And if someone that you look up to, someone in a position of power, someone in a, like say, a media position that you hold as a highly revered position at a reputable network, and they're all saying the same things, that, oh yeah, this is okay, this is normal, this is, eventually you got people that are just falling in line and going along with it. And we end up with a situation like we've had going on solidly for the last 4 or 5 years, a little longer. I mean, you know, there was a lead up to that. I have my theories on why they did what they did and are still pushing it. But I think ultimately what I'm talking about here is we've all lost the idea that we do have the control. We have the numbers. They have nothing without us when it comes to the power structure of our country. They don't have anything without us. And I'm talking like everyday guys that are in the military would have to agree. We'd all have to understand that we don't have to do all these outlandish things that we've been doing now that have been normalized, such as paying property tax. That's insane. It's really insane when you think about it. You can't own anything. You can't own anything. You have to pay taxes on it yearly, which is renting your own stuff that you paid for. How did we get into this position where we allowed this to happen? We need to change it. We got to fix it. We have to all stick together on it, though. The ones that aren't going to stick with us on this will be the ones in the positions of power, the ones that are extremely well-to-do that benefit from us paying those property taxes, paying income tax, which is also another thing. You are paying to work. You're literally paying to have a job. For your own labor, you're paying for it. That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. It don't make no sense. I can't remember what year they implemented started doing the whole property tax thing. Took us off the gold standard. That's another huge, which there was an ultimate plan there. It's not like they didn't know what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. They knew it wasn't in our best interest as far as the everyday people go. It was in the best interest of them. And it is us versus them. But people need to realize that we can put our differences aside and band together and be 99% of the country. I don't understand why people are organizing something like that. Someone who can speak enough logic and have enough common sense to convince these people that they've been lied to. See, it's way easier to lie to someone than it is to convince someone that they've been lied to. It's weird. India's independence from England was the result of many generations of resistance, accumulating in a series of large-scale independence movements from 1919 to early 1940s, led by Mahatma Gandhi. So Gandhi, huh? Is that the same Gandhi? Absolutely, we could. And you're right. They're bullies. I mean, down here in America, I know you're in Canada, but down here in America, they got the IRS. And while Joe Biden was in, he hired 87,000 new IRS agents and armed them with weapons. And you should see some of these goofballs. 400 pounds, 5 foot tall. Couldn't grow a beard if their life depended on it. Never fired a weapon in their life, and they're handing them 9mm or 40s, like 40mm. It's crazy, and it's a bully thing. If everybody band together and just said, nope, we're not doing this no more. Government is extremely bloated, and it's way outgrown its britches. Needs scaled down a lot, because that's exactly what needs to happen. And they overspend. They spend every year, depending on it doesn't matter what branch it is. It doesn't matter. It could be the parks department. Let's say their budget for 2024 was $250 million for half the country. Let's just use round numbers, easy. If they don't spend all that $250 million, the way they look at it, next year they'll lower our budget. So they go out and blow money, and I've seen this with my own two eyes many, many times, where they just spend money because they have to keep their budget. If they don't spend everything that was in their budget, then they won't get that bump up in their budget next year. So what? Save us the money. Throw these guys a bonus or something if they save us $1 billion. Throw them a nice little bonus, $5,000 a piece or something. That's a lot of money. But if they saved us $1 billion by cutting back on the budget and only doing what actually needed done, and spending money on what actually needed money spent on, we need infrastructure. Like, everything here is falling apart in America. Everything here is old. Everything here is old. Our subways, our roads, our power lines, everything. It's only been repaired when need be. So it's not like we built anything. We haven't built anything amazing and new. And they've taken so much money from us. It's insane. Sorry I'm late, as usual. Love you all, though. I'll have to go back and watch over from the start. I had to come and bump Smokey's budget a little bit. You didn't have to do that, man. I appreciate the super chat, Dan. Heck yeah, it's good to see you. I was just thinking about you yesterday and the day before. I was talking to my buddy down there, and we were talking about shipping stuff. And I can't remember how it came up, but I said, yeah, man, if I needed something from Germany or Australia or, somewhere, I was like, I've got some pretty reliable folks that I could contact. Poland, I got Delicious that could hook me up, and he has many times over the years. So I could contact them, and if I needed something from over there, I could probably get it. And he's like, yeah, but shipping. And I was like, I know. I know. I remember shipping, and then that's when I thought about those wheels. I hadn't thought about them in years. Thought about those wheels that your buddy needed, and that I packed rations and stuff all around. I can't remember what all I sent in there, but I think I sent you a bag of that. I can't even get that jerky anymore. That was some amazing jerky. But yeah, it came up, and we were talking about that, and I was thinking about you. And I hope nobody in the chat. I'm gonna have to contact Delicious and see if maybe he sent something that they sent back. I'm gonna go in there first thing Monday and see if they sent sent a package back of mine. I hope they did not. I hope they got enough sense to know, like, I'll be in to get it. Oh, dude, no, you don't have to do that. You know you don't have to do that. I know you're going to say, "Oh, I want to." I know. It's just so expensive for the shipping, man. Interesting little fact or interesting tidbit that me and him were talking about. I can't remember what he was ordering. Somebody, anyways, it was coming from Australia. The buddy in Australia sent it to one of his buddies in the UK, and then had the UK person ship it to America. And by doing so, they saved a whole bunch on shipping. So it must be cheaper, a lot cheaper. Maybe because you guys are you guys under the king now? Not the queen, but under the king. So maybe it's cheaper for you guys to ship to the UK, because I can tell you right now, what used to be, I don't know if it still is, but shipping from the UK to America is beyond reasonable. I have had 2 cases of British ORPs in the boxes, the old box style, which it doesn't matter, the case is the same size. I've had 2 cases shipped to me, and it cost me $50 for shipping. And they used, I want to say they used DHL over there, but when it got over here, it showed up here through UPS. And it was beyond reasonable. Like I said, let me tell you, 2 cases of ORPs. How heavy is a case of ORPs? I don't know. Are they like 40-some pounds? Does that sound right? Yeah, King Wingnuts, your head of state. I just had a weird meal. Didn't have no drink in it. It came with Recovery Trail Mix with almonds, cranberries, and beef jerky in it. Then a pack of cranberries. And then a pack of peanuts on top of that. And then a cheese spread and crackers. Like, the weirdest setup. And then no cold drink. Just coffee. And it's gone now. Anybody who hasn't already, go subscribe to Delicious channel. Great guy. Love that guy. First time I see him, I'm going to give him a big old hug. I'm not exactly a hugger, but I want to give him a hug. He just looks like I want to. Can one imagine if every single American, including businesses, quit paying taxes? The government would be sent into panic. Exactly. How hard could this be? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. How hard could it really be to organize something like this? I feel like we're all on the same page when it comes to, not all, at least 90% of us are on the same page. We're not happy or satisfied with where our tax money has went. We all have seen. Look, whether you believe or don't believe in Doge, I can't help it if you don't believe what they've showed us, what the things that they've found. Let's just say 1/10 of what they found is real. Let's just say that, which it's not, but let's just say that. That's bad enough. That's bad enough. And let's be honest, there's a whole lot more going on than that. And then factor in the fact that we're paying for these wars, that we don't have a dog in that fight. We do not have a dog in the fight. In Ukraine, we have no business sticking our nose in there. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care how you feel about it. That's the way I feel about it. We should have never been involved in that to begin with. You know how quickly that would have been over if we hadn't stuck our nose in there? You know how many more people wouldn't have died had we not stuck our nose in there? 100,000, 200,000, I don't know. The numbers are all over the place because they're lying about them. That's been verified. So between 5,000 and 10,000 a week is what they're saying now. And I'm sure it's been more. And factored it up 2 years, 5,000 to 10,000 a week on the low end. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. that will never go home to see their kids again. They will never see their wife again. They'll never see their mom again. The young kids that get like 18, 19, heck, I think they're doing 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids. And then don't even get me started on the other holy war that we have no business sticking our nose in. This is a war that's been going on forever. When you really look at it, it's a war that's been going on forever. I don't foresee anything but heartache and failure if we were to try to do anything with that. Netanyahu, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of what Trump's been doing right now either. I'm not. Something ain't right. Something doesn't feel right. His actions are certainly, in my book, not right. I don't know what is going to come of this. I already know what he's done already. I don't like. Unless he's playing some 4D chess and he's got something else figured out that I can't foresee and I don't understand, then he's not what I thought. Let me just put it to you that way. Never thought I'd say that, but over the past few weeks, 2-3 weeks, something changed. Something changed drastically. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks, roughly. I usually don't speak on crap like this, but this is highly concerning to me. It should be highly concerning to everyone. And I see a lot of that groupthink happening that are basically cheering on their own demise. But like LC said, if you could get people to stick together, I mean, if we could just agree, all of us agree. Look, you look at the profit margins that we're not even going to talk about BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. We're not even going to talk about the Big Ten. Those ones need dealt with, like yesterday. So BlackRock's been using AI to do all of their trades. I think like 99% of their trades for at least the past 15 years. Actually longer. No, at least 15 years. 14, 15 years. At least 2012. Maybe 2010. Maybe even earlier than that. See, they were using AI long before we... Right now, BlackRock makes 250,000 trades per day. 250,000 trades per day. Think about that. It's unreal. And their win ratio is ridiculous. It's impossible. It's impossible. I don't care. It's impossible. Then, you look at Walmart. Look at Amazon. Look at these companies that they have prioritized their shareholder and their profit margins over their customers. They sell us junk that might be broken before you get it home. If not, it'll be broke within no time, usually. Like the crap that they're selling, if it doesn't break in the first 3 weeks, consider yourself lucky. That's where we're at. I didn't grow up in this crap, which I remember my grandpa, they don't make stuff like they used to, and he was right. But the stuff in the 80s and 90s was nowhere near as bad as it is now. It was getting bad then. You know, you watch the vehicles go downhill, but they hadn't went downhill that much. You know, the vehicles were still, they'd been smothered out, killed of all their horsepower. Climate, all that, they've been smothered to death. But they were still built halfway decent. And now we're using way too much plastic, but we need to deal with those huge corporations that have taken advantage of us. And they killed out all the small business. Walmart. Let's be honest. Walmart, there ain't even no Kmart's no more. There ain't no Sears no more. Like, Walmart has taken over every small town that I've ever been around. Like, our area right here, from here to Walmart, it's about a 7-8 minute drive. Okay, about maybe a mile, probably not quite a mile, maybe about a mile up the road here. There was a grocery store. It was called Bigfoot Mart. Then there was the New Haven supermarket. Then there was Green's supermarket in Hartford. And then there was another supermarket down in Mason called, it was Vaughn's. I think it was Vaughn's. Yeah, it was Vaughn's. So we had 4 grocery stores from here to where Walmart is now. We had 2 or 3 hardware stores. We had, there was 3 or 4 bars in between here and there, at least 3. They're all but one is gone. It's the one that I could have bought recently, and I decided against it. Somebody else bought it recently, and I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. It's just not my scene. What else? And Dollar General is another one that's ran small business out of existence. There's more Dollar Generals popped up all over the place. There is technically 3 Dollar Generals in one town, in one little town right down the road here, in Point Pleasant. There's one at one end of town, one at the other end of town, and one, like the way the town lines go, it's right out in the country. Like, they put them out in the middle of nowhere. It's crazy. Which, I mean, I guess that's beneficial to the people that live out of town, out from town. But Walmart's the one that started it all. Now Dollar General's number 2 as far as taking out some. Well, I don't know if they're number 2. Amazon's probably number 2 because everybody orders stuff online. I was looking at, like, what it would cost to, like, DoorDash something to the house. You're going to pay more than double, which, buying, like, a decent meal for 2 or 3 people. Let's say you're going to spend $30 on 2 people for fast food. We're talking Taco Bell or McDonald's or something stupid. To get that here without, because we've never done it. We've never used those, because they'll do the first few for free or whatever. We ain't never done any of that, and I don't plan to. But regular cost, it's going to almost double your cost if you leave an okay tip for the driver. And we shouldn't be having to tip anybody. The businesses that are open need to incorporate that into their cost and pay their workers a living wage, not expect us to do it. I don't like tip culture. I don't like the tip setup. I don't like it at all. My son worked service industry, and he made good money. But these people, like, you go in there and you feel obligated, which it's because they're paying him $3 an hour. Like, I think he was maybe $2 something an hour. Something ridiculous like that. But living on tips. Living on tips. Hey, what's going on, Viper? Hey. Who else? Had a chrome one from the 60. Hang on, what are we talking about? Tim. Kmart submarine sandwiches. All right, let me go back and read the chat. Okay, case of MREs, 20.7 pounds per box. Last one I weighed. Yeah, but I'm talking about ORPs. ORPs are... Man, I can't remember what the weight on the box is. And I don't... When they ship me, all the boxes that I have access to right now are shipped inside out. Weirdly enough. They broke them down, flipped them inside out, taped it up. I'm going to say they're 40-some pounds, roughly, for the ORPs. So, total weight for 2 cases was at least right around 80 pounds. Alright, let me get back up here. Here in Canada, if you don't pay for 7 years, your tax is forgiven. Really? Interesting. So, years ago, I don't care to tell you this. Years ago, I did not file Now, I paid, but I did not file. Paid my taxes out of every paycheck. But I didn't file at the end of the year. Boy, was I stupid for not doing this. I did this for about 10 years. And this probably happened back in 2000. We moved in here in 2009. Huh. Would have been like 2005, probably 2004. Something like that. No. Would have had to have been after that. It must have been like I'll bet it was like 2008. So I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years, 9 years. Or I hadn't filed. Sorry, hadn't filed. Well, I went to the bank, or I went to Tudor's Biscuit World, took my little sister to stay in the night with me that weekend. She was young at the time. Probably still a teenager, like 15, 16, something like that. She was staying with me. And I went to get us breakfast. And my card was declined. I was like, what? Well, I know I got like $7,000 in there. Like, what do you mean? Or maybe I had like 10 grand in there. 7, 5, 7, 10. I had money in there. And, like, that can't be right. Try it again. They tried it again, and it was declined. Luckily, I must have had cash on me. So I bought our breakfast, and I went straight across the road to the ATM, put my card in there. I had 1 penny in my account. I had a penny. That's what they left me. The IRS took every dime that I had out of my account. Okay? So immediately I'm freaking out, and I start trying to deal with it. I mean, got a tax person to go through everything, filed all the years. So here's the messed up part down here. If you owe the IRS, the government, whatever, money, they can go back as long as they want. As many years, it doesn't matter. 20 years, 30, it doesn't matter. There's no limit. This is the way it was then. I don't know if it's changed, but that's the way it was then. But if they owe you money, it only goes back 3 years. They only got to pay you 3 years. I had 8 or 9 years at that point. They owed me money every single year. They ended up having to pay me out like $20,000. Had I filed that entire time, it would have been a lot more. It was a lot more. Like, I had it on paper exactly what it was. It was a lot more than that. I was working good jobs back then. I was working union, construction. I mean, you know, had 2 kids. I was claiming. I mean, I should have been claiming. But not only did they have to give me my money back, which was between $5,000 and $12,000. I can't remember how much it was. 10 maybe, ish, 9 or 10. They had to pay me back. They had to pay me that $20,000 over those 3 years that they owed me. And I was like, holy cow, that's cool. Then I figured out that it was only for those 3 years, and I was like, well, what about the other years that you owe me right here? Oh, we only have to go back 3 years. I had to go to the actual, what was it? It didn't. I don't think it was it was like a federal building. I went to a federal building in Parkersburg. I remember doing it. So, yeah, they don't care how long when it comes to them, but when it comes to you, 3 years. You got 3. They only got to pay you back for 3 years. But here's like the thing, and they just left it alone. Like all that money that they would have owed me, that never would have came up. Which, I mean, I was young and stupid. And what happened was, after the first like year or 2, I was afraid to do it. And back then, like, there was no internet. Like, I didn't have cell phones, smartphones, whatever. I don't think I got a smartphone until 2009. I'm pretty sure it was 2009, and this was before that. So my internet, I didn't really use a computer. I didn't do anything like that, so I didn't really have access to what to do and this all started back, well, like 99 probably. My first tax-paying job, I was 12. I worked at Dairy Queen. Now, Mom took care of my taxes for that, which it was nothing. I mean, I think they paid me $2 something or $3 something an hour, because I was they could pay you less because you were in school. That's how they used to do it back then. Kind of like, it's weird, man. Like child labor. It was. I don't know if there's still a thing like this or not. I don't even think they let kids work anymore unless they're 18. Maybe when they're 17. I don't know. But they would not, like back then, I was the cook. I was cooking at 12 and 13 years old for Dairy Queen. I still find that weird to this day. Back then, it was normal. It was just normal. I worked with another guy that I went to school with, another kid that I went to school with, a couple years older than me. And it's just, thinking back about that, it's just, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. By today's standard, it's very weird. But yeah, I didn't file my taxes from probably 1999 when I was working construction. 1998, 99. All the way up until like 2000. Might have been 2006, 2007. Maybe. I don't think it was 08. I don't think it was after the crash. I think it was probably not long before the crash. I'm sure I've got paperwork somewhere that could tell me, and I could figure it out. A CCAR. I'm lost too. I don't know what he's talking about. Oh no, I do not. Yep, I sure don't. I think I seen. Didn't Steve do one of them? I saw it pop up with like a notification. I get notifications for Steve's stuff when he uploads. I don't get notifications for any of the other people that I got marked for notifications. But Steve posts a video. You better bet I'm getting notified. Let me go back up here and see where I left off here. I was way up here. If we could get the media to be honest, that in itself would be a huge plus. Too many people live and die by the garbage that the media. Bo, you will get no argument from me. The mainstream media, and now is here's what I'm noticing. Alternative media. Right now, I'm going to say it's mostly common sense and truthful, or tries to be. But people get shit wrong. Like that's going to happen. But I would have to say that mostly what we're calling alternative media, meaning podcasts that have political figures on. Mainly, it's a lot of podcasts. People that are making videos about current events and current news. That you're getting a lot of your information from these people. You gotta rely on them and depend on them that they're telling the whole truth to the best of their ability. Nobody's ever going to get everything right all the time. We just hope that they're doing the best they can to put forth as much truth as possible. But when you look at where the mainstream media has been at, and what my eyes were open to this years ago, a long time ago. I've been on this path of, I guess, being awake to the awfulness for many, many years now. Many, many, many years. The manipulation, the propaganda, the just absolutely forced narrative that they all seem to lockstep just file in line and go along with. There is, in my opinion, there's zero truthfulness and zero honesty left in mainstream media. If they tell you something true, it's because it benefits them. That's it. That's the only time they're telling you the truth. is if that fits their narrative and benefits them. If not, if it's something that goes against it, or it's something they don't like, they're either not going to tell you, or they're going to lie to you. This has been proven a million times over. But my mom being the generation before me, she was born in, I believe, probably like 58, I think, was her birthday, or is when she was born. I think 58. Anyway, she'll sit down and watch NBC, CBS, ABC, whatever, news, and that's her gospel. Like, that's what they say, that's it. Like, you can't tell her anything different. She goes along with what they say, and that's it. Oh, you're a 58 vintage? I'm an 82 vintage myself. I got some years on me. Man, the years fly by. You know, when you start thinking about, I had a dream. I don't think it's been a week ago. And it was the most vivid memory dream that I've had maybe ever in a long time. And not just a memory. I played back through a lot of memories from my childhood. I couldn't stand here and tell you exactly what they all were now, but I remember when I woke up and I was like, it was fresh, and I was going back through what had just happened. It was a weird but wholesome and joyful feeling of stuff that I couldn't likely remember if you asked me to remember something that happened or certain days. Like, I have vague memories of things that happened from the time that I was, I know, 5 years old and up. I've told my mom, like, they took me to Kings Island. I remember things about that trip to Kings Island. I was 5 years old. I remember things very vividly from that time. There's a lot of things I don't remember. But it was weird 30-year-old, 35-year-old memories that were in the form of a dream that I had some sort of control over. It was really weird. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it had something to do with this or it didn't have something to do with this, but I'm always into, like, alternate techniques or alternate methods of regaining memories or whatever it is. Like, I depending on what it is, I would try just about anything safe, anything not too crazy. I had been doing this, and I'm not saying it had anything to do with it because it hasn't happened since, but I don't know that I've really done it since. Anyways, I saw these people talking about how you could access any memory from your mind. Oh, and then I saw this woman, this just came into my mind yesterday, and she is a miraculous woman. She can remember anything from any time of her life with detail. I mean, this woman asked her about a date, and she's like, oh, that was the week after the Super Bowl. I ate this for breakfast, and then I had a salad. Like, knew everything, and then something else big happened that day. Oh, she was on her way to somewhere in L.A., and she's like, we got delayed because it was the day that, remember that bank robbery in L.A. where those guys dressed from head to toe in bulletproof stuff, had the helmets on, had bulletproof, like, looked like a bomb suit almost, everything on. I'm sure anybody old enough remembers that. It happened to be that day. It was a week after the Super Bowl, and anyway. But this woman was amazing. Anyway, the technique that I saw was you take your right hand and your index finger and you press right here in the center of your head. And it's supposed to be quiet. You're supposed to concentrate. And it's supposed to help you access any past memory that you want to access. It sounded stupid to me, but what's it hurting me to try it? You know what I mean? So it's, again, it didn't sound like much, and it's not like it happened whenever I was trying it. It happened when I was sleeping, but it was weird. It was really weird. I can't recall ever having an experience like I had. And I've really got to start writing stuff down when I have these extremely vivid dreams, because I feel like there's more to the dream state than than it's just, oh, we're just dreaming. There's more to it than that, I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't get a whole lot of deep sleep anymore. Dale Earnhardt Enjoyer, what's up? LC. Let me get back up here because oh, Tim, I think young but feel old sometimes. Yep. Viper 82 as well. Spicy 83. You know somebody who I haven't seen in a while? What is his online name? Greg. What is his online name? Jeez. It'll come to me. Used to play with radioactive toys. First kid was in 1980. My first kid was in 2001. He'll be 24 soon, actually. Crazy. Both my kids are adults. I don't feel that old, man. I don't feel like I don't know. My little sister's 32, getting ready to have a kid. I feel like had I had kids at 32, that would have been. I do wish I'd have been more prepared. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't. So made it through. Made it through the hard years, I guess. Got them to where they're adults, and they're pretty decent adults. So cute cats and rabies. Cute cats and raccoons. I got plenty of them. There was probably some outside. That's what Stella was probably barking at. That or a possum. Let's see. You like sashimi? Really? Raw's the only way you eat fish? I mean, to each their own, man. I don't judge unless you're eating a house pet. That's it. As long as you're not eating a cat, a dog, a house bird. I know. That's a little. What else? Ferret, hamster. As long as you're not eating stuff like that, I don't judge, man. I've eaten some weird stuff. It's not like I don't eat it on a regular basis, but I would have to say that my lifelong day-to-day diet has been the most American and mundane bullcrap that you could possibly come up with. I've never lived near water, so I've never been an avid ocean food type of person. Like seafood is just, it's not my thing. I didn't grow up around it. First time I probably had seafood. Oh, I think I remember the first time I had seafood, actually. We went to Virginia Beach, and we were staying at Chesapeake Bay. This was back when my mom and dad were still together, so I had to be 7 or younger. And I remember this trip so vividly. Because we weren't even supposed to be going to the beach or anything. Like, I fell asleep in the back of the car. We were out somewhere doing something, and then I woke up at the beach. We weren't even, like, there was no plan to do this. My dad was weird like that. Anyway, I wake up and we're at this hotel that had a, what was it? A Zeus. Okay, so there was a seafood restaurant that was part of the hotel that we were at Chesapeake Bay. And then outside of that, in between the seafood restaurant and the hotel, there was, it might have been a motel back then. I think it was a hotel though. I don't remember the details of that, but there was a Zeus that, like, he was part of the pool. I'll never forget that. And we went to that seafood restaurant, and I remember them having popcorn shrimp, and I freaking loved those things. Like, again, I had to be 7 years old or younger, which I still enjoy shrimp. Raw shrimp, like a little bit of cocktail sauce. Yeah, I'm good. Like, I don't mind eating that. I like scallops. Can't stand oysters. Can't stand escargot, which that's not really seafood. Escargot's a weird one, y'all. Like, if y'all eat that, you need to look into that a little bit. Which there's only 2 places, I think 2, maybe 1 now, that's allowed to cultivate and sell snails in America. Period. Because of the high risk of, is it salmonella that comes along with it? It's very common, though, when it comes to eating snails. You like to eat snails? You an escargot kind of guy? Octopus, never tried it. I've never eaten a snail. They tried to get me to eat snails for a TV show. I said, I ain't done it. Y'all, I ain't doing it. Just ain't happening. I had no desire to do anything of that nature. What else? Definitely. Dude, I think squid, I don't think you should eat squids. To me, it's like eating a dolphin. They're way too smart. Way too smart. Way too intelligent. I'm not saying, like, I think every animal's life is sacred now. I didn't necessarily grow up thinking that or feeling that way. But I have definitely had a change of heart. Probably about 42 now. Probably about 10 years ago. The last time, right before I got into the accident, my work accident, that year prior, well, it wasn't a year prior, it was like 6 months prior, I took both my kids hunting. We didn't kill anything, but we tried. We were trying. Went out to my buddies, went out in the woods, first thing before the sun was up, sat out there waiting on a deer to come by. Something in me changed to where, I don't know, I just don't feel like, I feel like everything, it has just as much right to live as I do. That's like 3 or 4 days ago, there was a wasp in there in the kitchen. And Amber was like, get that wasp out of here, get that wasp. I was like, okay, just give me a second. And I just grabbed a cup and stuck it over him. He was trying to fly out the window, obviously. And I just put him in that cup, and I had to shake it a little bit, so I might have knocked it to get him to fall down in the cup. And then I covered the cup up and took him outside. And she asked me to smash it, and I was like, I ain't killing this. Why would I? Why? Why would I? It's like spider. If I find a spider in here, I'll take it outside. Flies, I even try. I try. I try to take flies outside. It's really hard, but I do try. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time trying to catch flies. But and I do not like flies. Flies are nasty. They carry around their little fly babies, I'm going to call them, instead of getting gross. And yeah, no thank you. But I do try to take them outside if I can. If I see a bee in distress, I saved a few honeybees last year out of they were trying to drink water out of the cat's water outside. And they were in there swimming, and I picked them up out of there, put them up on the side banister, and let them dry out. I don't know. What? Really? Got your first MRE, it was full of weevils. Had to let them buggers go. Only 2 to 3% smart as man. Right, Old Smoke. Totally agree. I got my first MRE. It was full. Really? An MRE? It was full of weevils? I have not seen that. Am I going back? You know what? I said that yesterday. I was like, man, I really shouldn't eat animals. Um, I even thought about not eating this pork. Like, I thought, man, I shouldn't be. I don't know what it is about pork. It doesn't agree with me, first of all. I'm not. I don't even like bacon anymore, hardly. Like, I don't understand. I used to love bacon. I don't even like bacon anymore. Um, I feel like I wish I could just not eat cows anymore as well. Uh, but yeah, got him in from an antique store. Hometown guy was known for his bad MREs. Should have listened, right? Yeah. I mean, if you find if you can, okay, first of all, to have an MRE that's full of weevils has got to be compromised. It's got to be open in some way or another. They got to have a way in, and that's why I don't think I've ever encountered. I've had plenty of cigarettes with weevils. I've had plenty of old cereal with weevils. Any old dry product, flour. I mean, obviously that's a common one. What else have I had that had weevils in it? I've had quite a few things that had weevils in it, but I've never had an MRE. Yes, I have actually. I take that back. Well, I've had rations. MCI down. I've had rations that have been ate up with weevils. Likely, they come in when a food item first burst, and it would have still been food to them. It wouldn't have been food to us, but it would have been easy for them to eat. They go in there and they eat themselves to death. They eat until they die. Same with like the ones that get in the cereal. I ate a whole bunch of weevils. I ate a whole bunch of them. When it come to, we ate the oldest box of Wheaties, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was the oldest box of Wheaties. The 40s, I believe, that was the box we had. That thing was probably 1/3 weevils. I mean, you add a little bit of milk to it, and it tasted fine. They had been dead for decades. I mean, decades. Probably 60 years, 70 years, whatever. Been a long, long time. The packaging looked like Swiss cheese. There was holes all through it where they had ate and gotten into the bag of cereal. And really all they were was little husks of the weevils. Like that there was nothing left of them. The bodies had more or less evaporated. Did Moses mention bacon up on the mountain? Bacon is a food group. I hear you. I mean, I you know, again, I have loved bacon my entire life. It's not like it's just now, for some reason, the last few times, well, maybe it's probably been. It's not that I haven't eaten it, because I have. I've probably had bacon in the last year, 2 or 3 times. Maybe a couple more times on a burger. But last few times I've had it on a burger, I've ended up picking it off because it just didn't taste right. The last the last time I got a burger at McDonald's, it was inedible for me. It was soft in a way that it was very odd. The texture was very odd. The cheese tasted very weird. The whole thing. Actually, I bought 2 of them, and one of them's still sitting in there. Something was off with that thing. And I've kept that thing around for like a few days now. Well, first couple of days, I'm like, I'll heat it up and eat it. I've eaten McDonald's that's sitting around for 2 or 3 days. That stuff, it's as shelf stable as just about anything. I mean, it's awful. It's awful for you. It's awful food. It's not real food. McDonald's used to be real food. Whenever I was growing up, I remember I wasn't a cheeseburger type. I was a plain hamburger kid. I wanted just a plain burger. And a lot of times, like, I would take a few bites of the burger with the bun, and then I would ditch the bun, and I would just eat the patty. And I remember loving McDonald's patties back when I was a kid. But the stuff that they got going on now is just not hamburger. I don't know what it is. And then I can't remember who I was watching the other day. It was somebody who was like talking about being health conscious and how talking about certain foods, and I was agreeing with them on most everything, and how somebody was bringing back tallow for their deep fryer. Well, anyway, that guy, I can't remember who it was. The guy was like, "Oh yeah, I love McDonald's fries. McDonald's fries they're the best." If you had any idea what they do to McDonald's fries, to the potatoes, to grow the potatoes, what they spray the potatoes with, the farmers can't go outside for a week after they spray for the pesticides to keep the bugs off, because McDonald's wants their potatoes to be consistent. They only buy one certain kind of potato, that's it. They want the potatoes to look exactly the same, all of them, so there's no inconsistencies in their French fries, no bad spots in them, etc. So they spray this crap on them. Farmers can't go outside for a week after that. Then, when they harvest those potatoes, they lay them out in these huge buildings, huge stacked football field off football. Like, I want to say there's 6 football fields long and 6 football fields wide. So they're 600 yards. No, 600 yards. Yeah, 600 yards long, 600 yards wide. And they go in and lay the potatoes out with flat, nothing on top. Like, they have to be single layer, and have to let them air out for, I think it's 2 weeks. Or is it a week? Week or 2 that they let them, the potatoes themselves air out. The chemicals to leach off. Are you freaking kidding me? That's how it is. Look it up. Look it up. I'm not lying to you. McDonald's fries are horrible for you. I don't care that they're fried in awful canola oil anyway, I'm sure. It's a staple for your little dudes, but you don't eat much. Yeah, McDonald's bacon, again, like, what is that? It doesn't even look like normal, regular, real bacon. And then I had bacon on. Oh, I got a hamburger from the local gas station up here, the one I'm thinking about buying. And they had not only burnt the bun that the burger was on, they had burnt the crap out of the bacon. And I'm talking, it was like trying to eat pebbles. It was thicker cut bacon that they had. I don't know if they deep fried it and overcooked it that way, but it wasn't like overcooked bacon where you know becomes crumbly or whatever. No, it was like hard as a rock. And I ended up having to pick that off the burger, and I ended up having to I tossed the buns, because the buns were like burnt garlic bread is what they tasted like. It was awful. It was awful. I won't go back. That was the first time I had ever eaten there. And I saw them making these burgers, because I was actually in there to observe the kitchen and see what goes on up there during like the lunch rush for my own business purposes. And I watched them, and I was like, is that just a regular burger? Because I watched them stack that burger up, and I watched them put a big old handful of bacon on top of there, put that bun on there, and wrap it up in that aluminum foil. I was like, man. I was like, is that the burger that you get for $5.99? And she's like, yeah, it's just a regular bacon burger. I was like, I want one of those, because it looked amazing. It was not. I don't know if she did that on purpose or what, because she knew that I'm like, the reason I'm there is I'm looking to buy this gas station. I will own the little restaurant that you're working in right now. I don't know if that was part of I don't know why they done that, because it seemed intentional. Like, not only did you burn the absolute crap, burnt the crap out of the bun. It was so tough that you didn't want to chew it. Like it was, like you could barely pull it apart. And I'm not exaggerating. Like you could barely pull it apart. And then if you took the bacon, like especially the darker, the redder part of the bacon, and it was probably about that thick, and tried to break it, like sometimes you couldn't even break it. It was that hard. It was, in my personal opinion, intentional. If that was the kind of product that they're sending out of there regularly, people would not eat it. They would not come back. They would not purchase it again. I'm telling you, like, there's no way. No way. All right, where are we at? What the? We gotta. I had to kick somebody out of the chat. Windy day in Minneapolis destroyed my diner named Town Talk. Damn looters didn't have care at all. The windy day in Minneapolis destroyed my diner named Town Talk, whose looters didn't have a care at all. Broke the glass and set it ablaze. Really? Man, I hate that. That's awful, dude. Minneapolis, though, that's a rough place to be in, man. What year was that? What year was that? Earnhardt enjoyer. Booty crumbs. What the? So snails are good with a bunch of garlic butter. Oh yeah, I used to eat turtles too. I couldn't bring myself to eat a turtle now either. It ain't in me. I got no desire to eat a turtle. Not too much seafood in Central Iowa. Canned salmon's about it. Same thing with West Virginia. We ain't got no seafood here. Great fake Chili's Chipotle honey sauce. Chili's. You mean like Chili's, the restaurant? Chipotle honey sauce. I was exposed to Fallout in the 60s from the nuke testing. Got thyroid cancer in 93. Could have been from that exposure. Likely so. I mean, dude, the testing that they used to do back then, that they did all the way up through the 60s, from the 40s to the 60s. Alright, I'm way back up in here now. Let me get back down here. Wait, here. Octopus is like eating rubber bands. So I'm told. Yeah, I tried a piece of deep fried octopus a few years ago. I don't see the point in eating something that's basically like eating a deep fried rubber band. Had a squeak to it when you chew on it. Like, if I'm going to eat something, I want it to taste good. I'm a texture eater. You guys know that. I've said it a million times. I like to have a good texture to my food. But that did not have a good texture. Man, there's a lot of crap messages here. Okay, here we go. Windy day in Minneapolis destroyed my diner. Okay, there. It's terrible. When I worked for a private club kitchen, the escargot they served was canned. Yes, it always will be, Tim. The only way you can get escargot in America legally is if it's canned. And it all comes from, it used to be 2 facilities. I think they pared it down to only 1 now. There's only 1 person in the whole United States, 1 facility in the whole United States that's allowed to grow and sell escargot. So, let's see. Mickey's Diner in St. Paul has been around forever. It was good. Mickey's Diner. That sounds familiar. I'll clip in here but couldn't be quiet anymore. Yeah, I brought up some controversial topics. Howdy, Cliff. Bacon is a food group. I mean, look, I'm not knocking bacon at all. I get it. It's just I don't know. There's something about pork now that I have kind of a weird feeling about, and it just doesn't taste right to me anymore. I don't know what it is. Something in my head maybe, but again, I've tried bacon a few times, and the last 3 or 4 times I've tried to eat bacon, I've ended up not eating it. Could it have been external circumstances? It could have been. Could have just been cooked wrong, not right. McDonald's bacon. We can all agree that that's not really bacon. I don't know what it is. McDonald's, their burger's not really burger. Heck, I think the last time I seen something about McDonald's burger, they were saying, this ain't been that long ago, within the past year or so, they were saying that they had tested McDonald's burger and it came up positive for human. Am I mistaken? I could be mistaken. I think that's possible. I could be wrong on that. Where are we at? Let's go back here. Cooked bacon on a sheet tray. Convection oven at the club I worked for. It was awesome. So, air frying bacon is good. That usually turns out pretty good that way. I bought a bacon press years ago. I haven't seen it in years. We used to use it all the time on a griddle. But you press the bacon. You just leave the press sitting on the cast iron press sitting on top of the bacon so it'd be nice and flat. Made some pretty good bacon that way. Cooked 8 pans at a time. Deep fried bacon sounds awful. I mean, a lot of people do it. Just made a pot roast with red cooking wine, apple cider vinegar, rosemary, spices, salt, black pepper, cut up apples and peppers. Really? See, I feel like that would ruin a good pot roast. When I eat pot roast, the main thing that I want to taste is just the roast, just the meat. Obviously, let it stew in its own juices and add some water and let it just continue to render down. But I'm a pretty big advocate of a little salt, a little pepper. Goes a long way. When you start, well, I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking what your recipe. I'm not saying it was bad. It was probably amazing. But I'm telling you, like, I would honestly, without ever trying it, I would prefer just a straight roast. I'm a big fan of, well, you throw your potatoes, your carrots, your celery in there, some onions, all cook up together. Lots of potatoes. Lots of potatoes. We usually take potatoes out, and then we'll put more potatoes in, let them cook up, and then we got extra potatoes. We're a potato family. We like to eat lots of potatoes. Let's see. Where was I at? Okay, there we go. May of 2020 is when that happened to your restaurant. Oh. The summer of love. All those goofballs that are still a problem as of today. And I think something else could possibly pop off. Now, I have kept up with this current... What's the name of that young man that got stabbed? Fitz something, ain't it? His last name, is it Fitz? I can't remember his last name. Anyway, I've been keeping up with that a little bit. And I've seen some pretty outlandish stuff. Just the case itself is wild. Like, the fact that the twin brother was there and all that. And then what the dad came out and said right after that, which I think he might be a little bit of a... I don't know. He's... yeah, I don't know. I can't say. I would not react the same way he has. I I can guarantee you that. First thing he done was forgiving, which forgiving is a good thing, but man, like, I don't know. I don't know if it had been the first thing I'd done. The reason I bring this up is because there's been kind of an underlying tension building up that possibly something along the lines of 2020 could pop off again. I think we all hope that that doesn't happen. I think all of us got enough common sense to know that nothing productive comes from that. What was ever accomplished out of any of that? Ruined small businesses, burned down small businesses. They tore up their own towns. It makes no sense. And then people such as the Dale Earnhardt enjoyer never recovered from what they done. Bullcrap. And they done worse. They actually took people's lives during that whole thing, and you know, obviously there ain't no coming back from that. Maple pork patty was balsamic roasted grapes. Huh. So you put balsamic vinegar in there and roasted grapes, or balsamic roasted grapes? You big rosemary fan? Yeah, rosemary's pretty overpowering. Not a huge fan of rosemary myself. I mean, a dash. If you're going to use rosemary, it's got to be a dash. Okay, I'm back to where I was. I'm trying to read through the chat. Actually read through the chat. Tim, I know octopus are extremely smart. Extremely smart. Like, maybe we can't fully know how intelligent they are, but they could be quite smart in other ways. Like the fact that just watching an octopus open jars, and have y'all seen that? Have y'all seen octopus like opening jars and escaping their enclosures and all kinds of wild stuff, and changing colors the way they do it, and camouflage? It's amazing what they can accomplish. Oh, tons of people profited from those riots. See, there's something else that's kind of going on right now. I feel like there's something similar happening as far as like a transfer of wealth. That we saw a huge transfer of wealth just straight up because of the vaccinations and the companies that made them. We're going to stare off for a minute. All right. Here. Come on. Go potty. All right. But yeah, I think there's something else weird going on right now that I've seen the stock market drop way out. Now, seen it go way back up. Gold's up to, last I looked, I think it was like $3,700 an ounce. I never thought I'd see that in my lifetime. They're predicting silver to hit 50 by this summer. I think that's likely. I think if this is not financial advice, but I think if you wanted to go a safe route on a way to invest in something not volatile like the stock market, precious metals. I don't foresee them going down anytime soon. I do foresee them at some point probably taking a pretty steep dive from their high, which I do think that gold might likely hit 5,000. That might be a end of summer thing. That might be around the Christmas time thing. May not happen, but I do think it's going to go up. Jason, yeah, so Fort Knox, there's actually some pretty solid theories out there as to why it could possibly be empty, some things that happened. during that time period that could explain the gold being gone. When the World Trade Centers fell, do you know how much gold was in the World Trade Centers? Do you have all? Does anybody like? I don't know the exact amount, but I know that multiple countries had reserves of gold in the World Trade Centers. And I also remember there used to be a news interview on the street, like maybe right after the first tower had fallen, of a guy who was running out of the basement parking area, who came up on a box truck that had a full pallet of gold sitting in the back of it. The truck was abandoned, the door opened, and the truck wouldn't start. The truck was driving out, and it was blocking the road out of the parking lot of the World Trade Center. A truck of gold, a pallet of gold. It only had one pallet in it, he said. I don't know how heavy an entire pallet of gold would be, but maybe that maxes out a box truck. I don't know, because I know that would be heavy. Yeah, it was taken out all right. It wasn't taken out after it fell down, though. I mean, they left behind some coins. They left behind some stuff to make it look like there was still gold there, but the massive amounts of gold that were in there ended up on box trucks. I mean, China was keeping gold in there. Japan was keeping gold in there. France was keeping gold in there. I think Switzerland had a reserve in there. Cliff, I think you could be. Well, no, actually, I don't think it was before. I think it was like they were trying, like they did it right before. Obviously, they would have had to have, but they were trying to get it all out of there, and before they, again, those buildings didn't come down on their own. I don't care what anybody says. If you've ever seen the steel that those buildings were made out of, and you take into the account that the center structure, the concrete center structure, and everything, you just take everything into account. Nope. There was so much asbestos in the World Trade Centers that they tried to get an estimate on what it was going to cost to strip the asbestos out of the World Trade Centers, that it was such a high number that they couldn't even come up with the number of what it was going to cost. They didn't have any idea how long it was going to take, how much manpower, or how much money it was going to cost. It was going to cost more than the buildings themselves were worth to remove the asbestos out of those buildings, because it was everywhere. They sprayed that on the beams. They had the elevator shafts covered with it. Now, everything was covered with asbestos insulation. And asbestos insulation can take the hottest heat in the world, period. It's the best insulation, period, in the world. Which is another reason why I know that those buildings just didn't get a little bit weak and sag and fall. We're talking steel that was over 6 inches thick. I mean, in I-beams. Craziness. If you've ever seen it in person, holy, what the? My lighter must have scratched me. Yikes. Alright, I gotta deal with that real quick. Let the dog in. Mud all over me. Alright, let me get over something. Yeah, I had to just scratch myself with my lighter. It's crazy. It's one little tiny spot. already stopped. Oh well. Not a big deal. But yeah, Tim, I think Tim said that. Yeah, they were like, it's possible they were empty before, like not completely empty. I think they were attempting to empty them, obviously, or that guy when he came up on that box truck full. I think that this topic, first of all, it was never investigated properly. The 9/11 Commission, this is not a joke. This is not, we spent more money investigating Bill Clinton and the Monica Lewinsky debacle than we spent on 9/11 investigation. Look it up. I'm not joking. That's a joke. That is a joke in itself. But like, what the? It's crazy. Let me go up here back to where I was at. I'm a tomato. Okay. Where was I at? Okay, there we go. Tim, your stock's lost 10K and recovered. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, they've more than recovered. I'd say they're probably up by at least 10% now overall. I mean, it just depends on what specifically you're at. But overall, like looking at the big picture, overall, and this has all happened in the last month or less, actually. Maybe less. At least the last month. My stupidity hit the entire company shut down. His stupidity hit the entire company shut down. And then all the clients were transferred elsewhere for services. All this happened while I was on maternity leave with the baby number 2. What? Holy. I don't know exactly what you're talking about. His stupidity hit the entire company. Are you talking about that new guy that took over up there in Canada? I think there was a lot more than 50 million worth of gold in the World Trade Center, actually. I think like countries had gold reserves in the banks that were in the basements of the World Trade Center. They had safes built in the World Trade Center like nowhere else that you could put, where you could store your gold, let's say. Outside of doing like a Fort Knox type setup, World Trade Centers are pretty secure. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what the projected number was, but it was a lot more than 50 million. Sold a ton of stuff before the crash, but slowly recovered on what's left. Yeah, I mean, the recovery, honestly, Viper, when that little, let's be honest, when that little crash happened a few weeks ago, I didn't expect it to flip and recover so quickly. I really did not. So if you sold while it was high, nobody could fault you for that. Like that was a good move. Let's see, where are we at? My client reputation, workplace. Okay, there we go. Cliff said, okay, that's where Cliff said that was taken out. In case you don't know, I work in the community support and work with adults with diverse abilities. Trade center was empty before the attack. I think it was emptied like during and after, like that very short amount of time. And probably some before too. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of insider work going on there. I don't care what anybody says. Like, I'm not stupid enough to believe anything else. Some live in group homes, others are home share. So, what was I watching? I was watching one of the more popular podcast style setups the other day. Heck, it might have been Tim Pool, actually. I don't think it was. Maybe it was. I think it was, actually. Anyway, Viper says that's a thankless job. Cliff, my dad would say different. He responded to, my job is rewarding. I say nothing better than meeting my new client at work. Job has been modified. Soon puts the biggest smile on his face. Well, that's good. So, anyways, I was seeing this argument happening on this. I don't know if I was watching it live or what. Don't quote me on whether it was on Tim Pool or not. I don't know what it was on. Something that I caught on YouTube. But they were trying to argue that autism was not a disability. And it seemed pretty obvious that that person had never met someone with an extreme case of autism, being nonverbal and stimming, and you know, it certainly is. I mean, I don't know how else to put that. There's no, like, my little sister's, I don't want to get too specific. Okay, so let's just say I have some experience, I guess you would say. There's no way that they could work a normal job. I don't think a job, period, or anything when you want to call it normal society, whatever. Which I'm not stuck on the labels of it or anything, but just integrating, living on their own, having a job, whatever. No way. That, like, there are highly functional people that have autism, I guess. I think there's a spectrum for that. They call it, I don't really understand the spectrum part of it. I think some people are just different, man. Like, some people are just built different. I think they call a lot of things autism that aren't quite autism. And then I don't know. And then they get grouped in with people that really have a hardcore case of autism. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, I guess, to really speak too much on it. Except that I don't think that all the ones that they diagnose with it are all, quote unquote, on the spectrum. It's okay for people to be different. Like, that, when we were growing up, some people were just different, man. Like, it, and there was nothing wrong with that. Or they would be bullied, of course. You know, obviously that happened. If you were real different, that would certainly happen. Not that it was okay. It happened. I don't know what the outcomes of that was for adult life for some of those people. Not good, likely, and sometimes maybe it was. I don't know. It's hard to say. It would depend. There's a lot of things that it would depend on. Yeah, I got no real. What do I got to say? I don't really have much of an opinion on him. It depends on who's on there. Like, if I want to hear what's going on, and the dude lives in West Virginia, so there's kind of that aspect. I do hear him talk about West Virginia on a somewhat regular basis. Yeah, it's hard to completely skip the whole political thing in life now. I remember not too long ago, not that many years ago, that you could skip the political stuff, but it's to the point to where it's infiltrated every aspect of life, not because of something we done. It's being forced into that. In my personal opinion, that's what it seems like. Talking about your old boss who was caught money laundering. Ooh. There's corruption everywhere. I mean, there's corruption everywhere. Our government's full of it. Our government's full of it. Everybody's government's full of it. But you also see small businesses, small town, like structures that are ate up with corruption of some kind. Money is not the root of all evil, but it does tempt a lot of people into doing things that are immoral and certainly against the best interest of the people that really matter in the situation. Talked that thing out twice now. Live in the woods. I mean, I don't think autism is necessarily, well, the way they classify autism is necessarily a bad thing. I think there's some very capable and unique aspects to. Again, I don't know how much I agree with the way that this spectrum thing is set up, but just being different, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Yeah, well, man, I hope your dad's all right, Viper, because the stuff he was breathing down there the day after was bad, real bad. Even with a full face on, you can't filter it all out. You just can't. Asbestos gets in, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. But yeah, there's certain things that they're not conspiracy. They're just not. They're right there in front of your face. You choose to believe them or not. In fact, they were pulling molten metal out a week later, maybe longer. Dude, there was nothing in there that could burn and burn that hot for that long to keep molten metal going for that long. Just, you're not going to convince me otherwise. I've worked with metal. I've made metal from scratch. Literally from the compounds that it takes to make the metal. I know how hot that stuff's got to be to turn to liquid. It's not feasible. See, that's a lot of us. I think a standardized way of learning isn't right, isn't what we need. I think each individual person has their own standards or way of learning. And I think trying to standardize that into one certain way of teaching kids is a huge mistake. And years ago now, I saw something, I can't remember what it was. It doesn't matter. I saw an explanation on how Elon does his kids' schooling, all homeschool. He lets them, if they become passionate about a topic, he lets them run with that. He doesn't hold them back, like say they're a third grade age level child, whatever, say they're 8 years old, 9 years, however old that is, 9 years old. They're 9 years old, and they're progressing extremely quickly through this information and retaining the information because they've got a passion for it. He doesn't hold them back. He lets them go with that information, which is definitely a better way to do it, which our education system was not set up to maximize our ability to learn or to cater to our different ways of learning. It was set up to make us good employees, to go and work 8 hours a day and be content with that. And they used to pay a decent living wage, but they don't anymore. It's hard to find a job with a living wage, especially if you live in a place like I live in. Yeah, doctors do. They give a title to everything. They'll never say, "Well, I don't know." Likely, I mean, they're going to say something. they're gonna want to give you medication. They're gonna here I'll prescribe this for you, and I should take care of it. Someone who was hired to diagnose my child said that he can't have Irish because they are too friendly. I have it, and I'm a friendly person. I'm lost on that one, LC. Think you just like to be active? Yeah, well, then you got ADHD. You're an adult hyperactive disorder. See what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Oh, here we go. You said it up here. I supposedly have ADHD, according to my doctors, but I'm not as sure. Yeah. See, I agree. I'm sure if I went in, which it's very possible. Well, I think I had a different way of learning when it came to schooling than, let's say, most kids. But they probably would have diagnosed me with being ADD, ADHD now or whatever. And I'm sure I could probably still go in there and they could test me right now and I'd be ADHD, OCD, ADHD, whatever. I would get to it. Not all those things are necessarily a disorder or a bad thing, right? I think we could probably all agree on that. Yeah, oh yeah. Dude, I very rarely go into REM sleep. I very rarely sleep longer than 3 hours at a time. I very rarely sit down. I stand. I'm going to say 90 to 95% of my time, I stand. I'm on my feet. Put me in a competition where it's a standing competition. Guess what? I'm going to win probably. Even with my bum leg, like all I got to do is shift to the right. My right foot's good and numb already anyway, and I can stand for a long time. I'm always thinking about like what I need to do, what I could do to better my situation, whatever it may be, or if I'm in a situation at the moment, how could I improve that situation? Likely different ways to work for myself, to do like it's constantly running through my head, different ways to do this, that, and the other. I don't think I ever have a still moment in my brain. And I try too, like I try to do the whole meditating thing, make it quiet, and try to just zone out. But it's the call it, I don't know. It's not intrusive thoughts, but it's just. We were talking about this the other day. The people with zero inner dialogue. So, back in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, you don't hear much about that anymore, Spicy. Yeah. I'm not twitchy, though. Just don't like to relax. Yeah, I'm not twitchy. I don't think I'm twitchy either. I feel like we're on the same page, kind of. It sounds like. Yeah, someone with ADHD always has to move, and sitting still is hard. Well, that might, I'm sure I might be diagnosed as that, but again, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't look at it as a bad thing. I don't think about it much whatsoever. I do think about odd things maybe that most people don't think about, like the once I discovered that there are people that they didn't even understand when you tried to explain to them what inner dialogue is. I'm like, whoa, what occupies your brain when it's quiet? Like what are you thinking about right now? And it's usually nothing. If there's a task or something that they know that they need to do, I don't know. Like, how do you not? I met a guy first time, like after I realized this was the thing with the whole NPC label that it has now. this was probably a year or two ago. I was talking to a guy at a hardware place. I was looking to buy a chainsaw, and I don't know how we got on the topic, but I was like, "Yeah, man, there's people that don't have any inner dialogue." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "You know, the voice, like you can hear the voice. You're thinking about your thoughts, and you can." He looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, "Wait a second, dude. Like, you don't have that?" I don't have anything. I was like, "Well, you're one of them. You're one of these NPC people that I've heard so much about. Like, you're one of these people that don't have inner dialogue going on." It's like, what is that? What is that? I don't understand how things work and you function if you don't have that. What's life like to not have that inner voice that you're constantly thinking about? You're thinking things through, just all different types of things constantly. I can't imagine what it would be like to not have that. Maybe life is much more peaceful for those people. I would have to imagine to not have all that just ruckus going on up there. Nickname's Bluefin. Okay, I get it. Okay. CP. I don't know what CP is. Diagnosis doesn't make or break. Yeah, yeah. So what? So you gonna put me on drugs? Same with Viper. What are they gonna do? Offer you Adderall or Ritalin or whatever else they give you for that? And then what? Then what happens after that? Like, do you lose part of who you are just because you've been diagnosed and they want to put you on some sort of petroleum-based medication that changes everything? Again, unless it's something that's hurting you or like keeping you from doing things that you need to do, even then, man, it's hard to suggest someone be on a medication. Medication's so bad for you. All petroleum based. Am I the slow one? Your youngest thinks he's Tuna Turner. Tuna Turner. Tuna. Wait. Yeah, Tuna Turner. Okay, I said that right. Inner dialogue. My life would be boring without it. I'm saying, man, like, I don't know. I can't imagine it. I can't really understand. Like, I can imagine it being quiet or whatever, but I can't imagine, like, how you could not think things through, you know, and try to, like, play out scenarios in your head of what could go wrong, what could go right. Again, they just don't have that. I don't get it. But these people exist. I don't think there's. I think we that have it outnumber the ones that don't. Does anybody in the chat not have the inner dialogue? Anybody? It's hard. It's been hard for me to find people that don't have it. I've asked I don't know. I've asked quite a few people when it's not weird to bring it up. Like, do you have inner dialogue? Is there any situation that a Dumb and Dumber quote isn't relative? Yeah, probably not. Yeah, same. Spicy. It's 24/7. Like, I don't know what I'd do without it. And what if I did get diagnosed, like Viper was saying, and they give me medication, and it goes away? Is that how I've always supposed to have been? Not having this? I don't know. I feel like my inner dialogue has spawned all bad and good ideas that I've ever had. Because I've thought through all these things. And, well, heck, I mean, even inner dialogue, doing math and stuff, like talking through the problem. Just stuff like that, being able to do math in my head. You definitely have to have inner dialogue to be able to do math in your head, I would think. If you don't, how are you going to work that out? Which I do know people that can't work out a math problem in their head. So, yeah. The more introverted you are, the more you talk to yourself in your head. Yeah, I don't know, really. I've had the most active, extroverted life that really you could possibly ask for, traveling all over the country, just around New York City, middle of New York City, Times Square, like the whole thing. It's still there. Like, it's still constantly going. Unless I'm talking to someone like I'm talking to you right now, I guess that it shuts off during that moment, but it's also kind of precursor to what I'm about to say next. You see what I mean? Like, I'm already thinking about it. I think I pre-think it in my head as right before I say it. Almost. Just heard myself say yeah. In my head, it's so weird. Oh, man. Yeah, I've never had Facebook. That's weird. Like, we must think somewhat the same, because I've never had Facebook, never will. I'm a firm anti-Facebook believer. I do have a Discord that I haven't been checking recently. Cliff, yes, I think so. I think it's your conscience. I think there's a spiritual aspect, or spirit, whatever you want to call it, your soul, there's something substantive to it. Medication relieves the symptoms and allows the brain to heal. Depends on what it is. You've got to, first of all, you have to be absolutely 100% properly diagnosed, or the medication could make you worse, or it could, like, what am I looking for here? It could end up making you worse, or just not working, or having other offshoot side effects. Oh, Dylan, thanks, man. Appreciate it. The old beard. It's its own thing now. It's not mine anymore. So Discord, I don't know if that's something that you got to have a link sent to you or not. I did the way, because the only way I have Discord is on this device. So the only way I can get the link is off my, but anybody else can get it that's on the Discord and can post it in the chat. I think. I don't know how that. I know we've done it before. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Use it for the messenger. Yeah, I've never created a Facebook. I've been a firm opposition to Facebook ever since it. Like, I remember the memes back when what was his name? Tom and MySpace. It was like the first memes where they would go F Facebook, like they'd say the word F Facebook. But I remember those memes like early on. I think they even made it onto the talk shows back then. It was probably around the 2008-ish era, 7 maybe, whenever they were in pretty steep competition. But yeah, I never wanted Facebook. I'll never have Facebook. I guess never say never. because I won't have a Facebook, but I might create one for a business, just because that's the way of the world now, and it's really hard to avoid it if you want to be as successful as possible. Oh yeah, Cliff, you're right. Only mods can post links. You are correct. You are correct. Yep. And there ain't no way I can do it because I don't have it on. I don't have it on here. Oh yeah, see that's the thing. Yeah, and how many relationships has Facebook ruined since it started? That's what I had a problem with in the very beginning, because I was seeing direct issues with people having their marriages and relationships ruined because of this app, and like I was firmly against it, and I still like I'm sure that aspect is still there. I just don't pay attention to it as much. And I think it's not as predominant now as it was. How many years ago has that been? 17 years ago? 16, 17, 18 years ago, whatever. Man, time flies, doesn't it? Never had a social present? What's that mean? Also, never had a social present makes life more peaceful. I'm not sure I understand. Facebook's too much drama for me. Never signed up. Yeah, same. Same. Me neither. Same thing. Old dog used to have a Facebook. Okay. Never had one. Just used it for the dog. I mean, animal profiles on TikTok, on Facebook, they can make really good money. Really good money. Yeah, I do foresee, or I do see Facebook being, you have to give up, first of all, if you're going to have a personal Facebook, you're giving up a level of privacy that I like to have. It's hard to have any type of privacy nowadays, but if you try a little bit, you can still accomplish having a level of privacy, but also that depends on how technical you want to get with it. You're on camera all over the place. I don't I don't have Google Home. I don't have Alexas. I don't have uh, Ring doorbells. I don't have any of that stuff. For the simple fact that I know that they, all the different ones, you just name them, Amazon, Apple, the government, all of them, they steal that information, that data. They can access it anytime they want. Outsiders can tap into your cameras and your home systems and what. I'm pretty happy without having it. I'm good. I don't need it. I do not need it. I don't want it. Now, if I lived in a big city where crime was an issue, I might have a Ring doorbell or something, and maybe a camera, like covering the entire house just in case it got broke into or something. I wouldn't want to live in a high crime area like that, though. I know it's infiltrated a lot of our states now. At least 20 out of 50, if not 30 out of 50, probably got a lot of areas that are nowhere near as safe as they were 7 to 10 years ago. But luckily, West Virginia is 20 years behind everywhere else. We always have been, and, well, apparently we always will be. Technology, we don't catch on to it for, solid 20 years. Some sort of trend, typically we don't catch on to it for a solid 20 years. Oh, I got nothing to hide. I got nothing to hide. It's just, again, like I'm like Viper. Like I saw it breaking up too many relationships, and I just, it seems like drama, and you're also giving up a level of your privacy and stuff. If you strictly use it to contact people that you went to high school with, and you're not like posting about your life all the time. That's different. I think you could consider that to be different than what most people use it like. Most people just randomly post crap that nobody cares about. Nobody cares that you went out to Texas Roadhouse today and ate 6 rolls and then had a. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that today's your birthday. Let's be honest. Like, how many people are going to care that see that actually care? Yeah, they might type happy. They don't care. They don't really care. They never said nothing had it not popped up on Facebook. It's not like they knew. Yeah, same with Instagram. Tax cut, yes. So Instagram is more of a. It's all fake. It's all fake. Like, the best part of your day, you're going to take a picture of it. You're going to post it on there, and you're going to act like that's how your life is all the time. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Likely, no, it isn't. Could somebody's life be great most of the time? Sure. They're got to be rare. I don't know anybody who'd be like, yeah, I'm happy all the time. Things always go my way. Everything's great. Nah. Yeah, I think same thing. The Instagram is real bad about it. I don't know what X or Twitter or whatever is like. I've tried to go on there a few times recently, and I don't know what it is. It doesn't feel cohesive, easy to navigate. Something about it doesn't feel right. I don't know. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. My dog ain't back there, but she usually is. I got a big dog. She's a pit mix. And if somebody tried coming in my house, I would hate to be on the other end of her mouth. I have watched that dog bite through bones that big around, and it just gives me cold chills listening to her just crunch down through it like it ain't nothing. I mean, I ain't joking. Like, she is eating some of the most gnarly stuff. A dog with good jaws and teeth like she's got, I mean, if she decides to bite your arm off, I'd say she might be able to break it off of you in 2 or 3 chomps. Legit. I think if she really wanted to, it wouldn't take much for her to do it. Bathroom in case of invasion. Yeah, that's the last place you want to get caught with your pants down. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. The whole OF thing, man. That's been... I was just talking about that with Amber, and I think it was just with Amber the other day. It's definitely caused a huge culture shift. Not at all for the good. It's very, very bad for the youth, the young generation coming up, thinking that that's just their way out of poverty or not having to work a decent job or get a decent career. Because I feel like things like that are the reason why we're having our workforce that and they're not paying enough. You know, they're not paying a living wage to go out there and, I don't know, work roofing houses or go out there building houses from the ground up, and all the other, like plumbing, electrical. Most of those are not paying what they should be paying. Those are acquired skills that we need to have. We need people with these skills. But we're not trying very hard to keep them around now, are we? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't have one in there either, actually. I'd be roughly about 10 feet away from one. So I probably should rethink that. Haven't played Farmville since my teens. Wait, Farmville's been around that long? At least 30 years? As a computer game? Diamondback side 20. Yeah, well, that look, anybody who wants to, I've heard so many, 22, that ain't gonna do nothing. Get shot by one. Go ahead, buddy or person, whatever, whoever. You go ahead and you go out there and see what it feels like to take on a few rounds of that. And then tell me it ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah. Yeah, it can do plenty, especially at close range. Inside a house, I mean, people don't, people that say things like that, I don't think they think it through very, very well. You know what I mean? Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, when it comes down to that, I feel like you can't get much more accurate than a revolver. I mean, an automatic's nice and all, but I'm way more accurate with a revolver every day of the week than I am with an automatic. Not that I'm horrible with an automatic. It's just, I mean, you can almost put all of them in the same circle with a good revolver. Dog's 160 pounds. If they passed him, they aren't happy. Yeah, if you come in and made it past my dog, I'd hate to see what that even looked like, honestly. I mean, she had her little bit of health issue there where she wasn't doing, but she's fine now. Which, I mean, she's our baby. We would do anything for her. She's our kid now. But Stella's probably hitting. She's probably 110, 120 now, I'd say. When she was sick and lost all that weight, she was down to like 80, 85. Yeah, she might be 100. She might just be 100. What are you doing? Brownie, I gotta wrap up the live stream. Here, come here. Oh, come here, honey. Oh. Say bye. My girl. You gonna purr? Yeah. You're a good kitty. Aren't you? You gonna stick your tongue out? That's that box you were just on top of. Making biscuits on my arm. Huh? What is it? Hi, Mama. Come here. Come here. Come here, Mama. You're the pretty girl. You're a pretty girl, aren't you? Pretty girl? Your blue eyes. You got an eye that's leaking a little bit. Hi, Mama. Cross eyes. Yeah. Yeah. She's shedding. She needs to be outside. Her coat is so thick. She's got to be some sort of like cold weather cat. Although she does not like the cold. She does not like, in the wintertime, she don't want to be outside at all. But as soon as it starts getting warm and summertime outside, she wants to be outside. Usually she'd be outside right now. I don't know why she's in. She came in just a little bit ago. Didn't you, Mama? Huh? She's a good girl. Yeah, she's a good girl. I'm thinking she might be deaf. Are you deaf? Can you hear me? if you can hear. I'm not so sure she can hear. Let me get that out of your eye. Come here. Come here. Quit. You got stuff, leaky stuff on your eye. Did I get it? Let me see. Yeah, kinda. I have a, like an old McDonald's cup. Wendy's cup. Something like that. That I scoop into the food and I shake it. They all come running. Alright. Well, I'm going to clean up this mess of somewhat disappointing. The main was good. I was pretty disappointed with the rest of it. I mean, the cranberries are alright. It's just, I don't know, weird mixture of stuff. But now I've tried this menu. So hopefully like the 20, I can't remember what they were saying was in the 24, or it might have been 23. Sounds like they're changing it up a bit. I don't know who the genius was who come up with putting all those three sides together. Like legit. All these things. I mean, cranberries doubled up here, which is nuts. And then nuts doubled up here, which is also nuts. I mean, I don't know. I'm just... If you're going to give me sides, give me something I want to eat. Not nuts. And some... This dried fruit's pretty good. This over here is pretty bland, to be honest. That's a regular cranberry. These got to be osmotic. Or they are. They are. They got the oil and the sugar. Alright. Well. Jerky. I did not want that. It was stuck up inside that cranberry. Ooh. Now the cranberry still tastes like that jerky. Kind of metallic. Weird. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks to my patrons. Thanks to LC for the super chats. Everybody who's sending a super chat. Dan. I appreciate you guys. And, yeah. If anybody happens to come across somebody who knows, I hope nobody sent something that got sent back. I really hope not. But I guess all I got left to do now is say thank you guys for watching and hanging out. And I'll see y'all in the next live stream. Later.